Good morning, Dan and Amy, and a Nobel for President Trump. Nobel Peace Prize, 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. It had been telegraphed. People were talking about it prior to the summit, and now a nomination has been put forward.
Two Norwegian lawmakers, two of my people, they cast their votes for Trump, and they told their local media that, quote, Trump has taken a huge and important step in the direction of the disarmament, peace, and reconciliation between North and South Korea. Currently, there are 330 candidates for the Nobel Peace Prize, just in case you're keeping count and odds makers in Vegas are deciding what's going to happen.
Aren't we getting to the point where the Nobel Peace Prize is like a participation trophy? Everybody nominated gets one?
Oh, no, because
We're
not
about
everybody.
there.
Yeah, but not everybody that gets nominated wins. So out of 216, 114 are organizations. So he's not competing against people. He's competing against some groups that have done great works to promote peace throughout the world. Thank you and goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think he deserves it?
No.
I mean,
First of all, you shouldn't be interested in it, number one, because the designation has been stripped of so much value. Again, when you're conferring the Nobel Peace Prize on President Obama for potential on the likes of Yasser Arafat, I don't think so, number one. Number two, nothing's been accomplished other than a meeting. That's not an accomplishment. Travel is not an accomplishment. Meetings aren't an accomplishment. It could be progress. It's a step. Even the president has said a framework for denuclearization. We'll see what happens. I could come back in 6 months from now and say, you know what, I was wrong. I misjudged Kim Jong-un and his level of seriousness about denuclearization. All these, rushing to confer honorifics on politicians. No, not even close. Is anybody any disagreement there? Is there anybody? I mean, honestly, what's the disagreement?
well, the thing is that he had a face-to-face meeting. And that's
yes.
different than, I know.
Different.
Bill Clinton did, 26 years
ago? Well, he didn't, it was through the Secretary of State. It was through Gallucci. It wasn't Clinton. But that's not the point. Different and?
I think this one's going to be, this could be catastrophic, or this could be the most brilliant stroke of genius in the world, what Trump did by meeting Kim Jong-un.
Well, the meeting is not going to be catastrophic. It's already happened. It's not catastrophic.
Right. But now you have Mike Pompeo. He was in South Korea this morning. He's in China, and he's ironing out agreements saying there will be no easing up on sanctions until we see proof of denuclearization.
Specific performance, right. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. That's the point. Is this a...
Do you think this is a rush to judgment?
Well, kind of. Yeah, it's a new angle into North Korea to deal with a problem that has bedeviled the United States for at least three generations now. Certainly the last three generations of this family. So let's see. The rush to organize the ticker tape parades. Chill out. Just relax. Let's when it comes to politicians, substantive outcomes. Substantive outcomes. Although it's interesting that this debate is happening. Another debate that's happening is about that video that he showed Kim Jong-un.
Oh, in a world gone mad.
Yeah.
That one, Destiny Productions present.
Is that the new name of the Weinstein Company, Destiny Pictures?
Yeah, two men, one choice or something.
Kind of the peace in our time. It could be fun. You could have...
The question is...
international hotels. You could have...
water parks.
Trains, right? You could have the slides.
Yeah, water slides, and then they showed boating, water sports, and then I saw somebody on water skis. Yeah. I mean, it's really going to be.
You could have like
intramural
kayaking.
Right, it's going to be a vacation hotspot.
Mm-hmm. And the Trump whisperer has weighed in on this. Scott Adams, Dilbert cartoon creator, who had Trump sussed out very early on in his candidacy, and suggests that again, if you haven't familiarize yourself with Scott Adams and what he has said, his kind of long-running commentary on Trump, including on this show. He thinks Trump is a master communicator. Scott Adams, who is a licensed hypnotherapist.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Scott Adams said this about that video.
Let me give you my first reaction. I just watched it. It's fresh in my mind. It might be the best thing that anybody ever did in a negotiation. Period. It might be, in the history of the world, the best thing anybody ever did. It is so good. It hits every note perfectly.
I'll tell you what, Scott Adams, not only the Trump whisperer, he's starting to sound like Trump. The best thing anybody's ever done in a negotiation in the history of the world.
But you have to think of your audience. So President Trump knows that Kim Jong-un likes Dennis Rodman, likes basketball, loves the Bulls, loves things that are American. So he puts this propaganda video together. Well, it could, hypothetically what North Korea could look like if they just cooperate with us. And it's beautiful. I mean, listen how effective it is. I get the chills.
A story about a special moment in time when a man is presented with one chance that may never be repeated. What will he choose? To show vision and leadership? Or not?
Yeah, not the most creative, compelling prose I've ever heard.
But it feeds to his audience.
I don't think Trump is going to Harold Hill his way to denuclearize North Korea. I don't think so. However, there was an approach he could have taken. What I would have done if I was going to show him a video, do the other way. It's the incentive to not find yourself in the same place as your father.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of, when they went back and reviewed his father's leadership years, it was in black and white, and they showed some bombs going off,
and that's not what I'm talking
people
about.
that looked oppressed.
No, well, he doesn't care. They don't care about. Oh, yeah, he's worried about oppressing people. That's Kim Jong-un. No, he's worried. He's worried about his power.
Right knee.
Remembering dear old dad. You don't want to be that guy.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Oh, we have some hot weather coming our way.
Text from
but
the
first
Amish.
text message.
Well, a tweet from the Amish texter. Did Destiny Pictures sounds like a Stormy Daniels production?
I know. Actually,
does.
The name Destiny Pictures presents One Woman, One Man. Today, times of sun and clouds for our golf outing. They have a tee time coming up here soon. Thanks for listening on the way to the course. A high of 81 degrees tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 64. And then we're going to have a string of hot days. In fact, a heat index in effect for the next 5 days. Tomorrow, 85 degrees. On Saturday, 93. And on Sunday, 96. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Any traffic around Bolingbrook Golf Club. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Happy golf outing day. Right now, things look pretty good on I-55 in the Bolingbrook area. Getting closer to Chicago, it's heavy, though. Actually, in Chicago, the area around just outside Chicago, from Harlem to Kedzie, it's a little tight on the inbound Stevenson there, and from Ashland to the Ryan. 38 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound fine at 34. Eden's clear. Kennedy still good. Reversibles have opened inbound after overnight work. At Howard, getting a little bit of congestion. We're getting close to Des Plaines Avenue. Bell Ryan, a little tight approaching downtown. Outbound, there was a stalled truck near 18th. That's gone. I-57, Bishopport, both heavy after overnight construction. Looking either way at about 30 minutes from I-80 to the merge. And there's a mess on the southbound tri-state. From 137 to past 176, road work in the right lane, scheduled till 6 a.m. Jim Talamonte and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
If you are a business owner, you've experienced your fair share of emergencies, and they always seem to happen at the worst time. Wouldn't it be nice to have someone on call 24/7 to help for whatever may come up? It's not possible for every emergency, but it is available for your business's IT and computer systems. With the support agreement, Turnkey IT will keep your computer systems online and running with no worries. If an emergency does pop up, Turnkey is prompt and responsive without charging an enormous after-hours rate. The certified pros at Turnkey proactively keep your business computer systems online with remote and on-site support. And right now, for a limited time, you can save up to $500 a month on a support contract, plus unlimited cloud backup at no cost. Enjoy the secure feeling of your network being supported by Turnkey IT 24/7. Visit turnkey.pro.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Dad, what are you doing?
Cramming for college.
I'm the one going to college.
Yeah, but we need to figure out how we're going to pay for it all.
Discover Student Loans.
Discover does student loans?
Yeah, they're one of the top student loan lenders in the country. It takes 15 minutes or less to apply, and there are no fees for the life of the loan. Best of all, I can earn cash rewards if I get good grades.
Really?
Yeah, we still have time to apply and get a great rate.
So I can just chill. College kids still say that, right?
No one says that, Dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Don't miss the Father's Day sale at your local Ace. Save $100 or more on what Dad really wants. That's right. Save $100 or more on select gifts from Traeger, Craftsman, and DeWalt. The best brands for Dad under one roof. And with so many great gifts at your neighborhood Ace, Father's Day shopping has never been easier. Hurry in for the Father's Day sale right now at Ace. Offers valid on select items through June 18th at participating stores only. See store for details.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy and Donald Trump also sat down with Brett Baer, another one-on-one interview on Air Force One. And
I noticed how everyone had the exclusive, but everybody sat down and talked to him. That's great.
That's how they do it in the news business.
Yeah.
So whatever you get is the exclusive, because there's only one you. There's only one Clinton Foundation donor zero. There's only one Brett Baer. Here's the thing. Trump was apparently up for 26 hours straight, so I'm going to give him a little latitude on language, since that's not really his strong suit to begin with. But
and after, 26 hours straight, that's a long time.
Here's what he had to say about the relationship between him and Un, and what he believes the level of commitment is to the principles laid out in the document they jointly signed.
This should have been done 10 years, 15, 20 years ago. This shouldn't be done now where they have an arsenal of nuclear weapons. This should have never allowed to get to this point. With that being said, Chairman Kim wants to resolve the problem because he knew that we weren't playing around. I wasn't playing around. He's not playing around. We have a very, I really say for a fairly short-term relationship, because it was unbelievably hostile, the rhetoric. Rhetorically, it was unbelievably hostile. And I think we have a very good relationship. We understand each other.
Neither is playing around, and they get each other. All right.
Also, when asked by Brett Baer about Korean War soldiers that their parents begged him to bring their son's remains home, unless if you do the math, it's not possible. But here's Trump.
You call people sometimes killers. He is a killer. I mean, he's clearly executing people.
He's a tough guy. Hey, when you take over a country, tough country, with tough people, and you take it over from your father, I don't care who you are, what you are, how much of an advantage you have. If you can do that at 27 years old, that's 1 in 10,000 that could do that. So he's a very smart guy. He's a great negotiator. But I think we understand each other.
Yeah.
But he's still done some really bad things.
Yeah, but so have a lot of other people done some really bad things. I could go through a lot of nations where a lot of bad things were done. Now.
Right. That was the portion of the interview that's particularly troubling. It's just unnecessary. I know he's inartful with language sometimes, but you don't have to be artful with language to ratchet down some of the compliments.
Flattery got him places in business, and I think he's translating that into diplomatic relations.
He's a dictator. He's a communist thug. He's not some super talented guy. 1 in 10,000. He didn't take over like his dad's languishing auto parts company and turned it into a Fortune 500 company. He's a scion of a dictator who continued the family business of being a murderous dictator who subjugates his people. There's nothing to be celebrated in that. There's little talent associated with that. I mean, other than if you would argue he's been able to keep a coup d'etat from happening, but he had a couple of generations a head start on that in terms of oppressing his people. That whole he's a talented guy. He's a bold leader. He's a tough guy. Thugs aren't tough guys. They're cowards.
And
he's the opposite of a tough guy.
And quickly, here's a part about the remains.
The things that really I'm happy is that the soldiers that died in Korea, their remains are going to be coming back home. And we have thousands of people that have asked for that. Thousands and thousands of people.
So that's one, I mean, if you want to look to try to see an immediate accomplishment, we'll see if those remains are returned. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
IG report comes out, IG report in the FBI comes out today at 5:38.
And Michael Cohen gets a new team of attorneys. Why? We'll tell you. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
News on North Korea this morning. Japan is considering a major summit between Shinzo Abe and the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Japan's foreign ministry saying moments ago that a summit would have to produce major results on Japanese citizens abducted by North Korea. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo continues his bilateral negotiations between the U.S., other area allies, and the country of North Korea. He believes President Trump's summit marks a new era.
President's summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un 2 days ago does indeed mark a turning point in the U.S.-North Korea relationship.
Speaking in Seoul, Pompeo says Un's public commitment to getting rid of nuclear weapons is a major step toward peace in the region. National Weather Service investigators heading to northeast Pennsylvania. They'll determine if a storm that did a lot of damage in a short time was actually a tornado. The storm struck last night in Wilkes-Barre. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says, nope, she's not going anywhere. Sanders took to Twitter to refute a CBS report that she and a deputy press secretary were planning to exit sometime this year. Sanders saying the network must know something she doesn't about her future. North America hosting the 2026 World Cup of Soccer. The matches played in the U.S., Mexico, Canada, not in Chicago, says Mayor Rahm Emanuel. Wisconsin woman faces charges in connection with using a terror plot by using Facebook to recruit and support ISIS. Wahiba Dias is in federal custody after being charged with providing material support or resources to a foreign terror organization. 45-year-old mother of two appeared before a federal magistrate yesterday. Chicago police are investigating a possible connection between a missing woman and a teen found dead on the west side. Elon Musk's Boring Company is now tasked with bringing planned high-speed transit tunnels to Chicago between downtown and O'Hare. The mayor's office will be commenting later this morning. A worker is dead following an unusual accident at a rail yard on Chicago's southwest side. Authorities say the victim was operating machinery at the CSX intermodal facility when he was run over by the wheels of one of their big machines. Brewers blanked the Cubs for the second straight game, this time 1-0 at Miller Park, and Milwaukee has a game-and-a-half lead on the Cubs in the NL Central. Dylan Covey looked good. White Sox beat the Indians 3-2 at the rate. The news, a service of Discover Student Loans. Figuring out how to cover college costs, Discover Student Loans is one of the top private student loan lenders in the country with great rates, zero fees. Plus, students can earn a cash reward for their good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations do apply. 5:34, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher says this is why you elected Donald Trump.
The president is correct in calling off the Eagles' White House visit, telling ungrateful, overpaid athletes that if you can't take a few minutes and not aggressively disrespect the national anthem, and you don't want to go to the White House, then your team, including its owner and coaches, are certainly not welcome either. This is why you elected Donald Trump.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Pursue your passion with a degree from Aurora University Online. Choose fully online programs in business, computer science, and more. To learn more, visit online.aurora.edu.
Wow, what a difference. I feel like I live in a brand new home, and it's all thanks to CertaPro Painters. Hi, Amy Jacobson here, and while we were on our trip, I gave CertaPro Painters a key to my house. They came in, painted the living room, master bedroom, and it is impressive. Nothing like a fresh coat of paint to change the vibe of your house. CertaPro Painters are trustworthy. Obviously, I gave them a key to my house. They're professional, talented, and they clean up their mess. It's as if they were never there. And now that summer is coming, you're going to want to hire CertaPro Painters too. You know, family and friends will be over for outdoor entertainment, and you want your house to look its best. Get your porch painted or stained. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated. Once again, get a free estimate at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
5:36. Let's get an update on that ride to work this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike and Aurora. Right outside Fox Valley Bowl, closures remain in place. Common between McCoy and Raintree Road, also McCoy, that area. After an earlier wreck, those closures may be in place through much of the morning. About Eisenhower Expressway, it's low Manheim at First Avenue, 31 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound fine at 29. Edens to Kennedy are fine still. Stevenson inbound, 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 34. Ryan, 17 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 34 minutes, I-80 to merge after road work. Delay is 119th to Holstead. Bishopport, 28 minutes. Delay starting at 111th. Tri-State southbound heavy, 137 to past 176. There's moving road work in the right lane in that area. Traffic service of LifeLock. No one wants to wake up to the news that they're the victim of identity theft, or that malware is attacking their smartphone. That's why new LifeLock with Norton now includes protection for your identity and devices. Join at lifelock.com. Use promo code RISK to save an additional 10% off your first year. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Sun and clouds. High of 81, partly cloudy, and 64 overnight, 66 at O'Hare, 67 along the lakefront. Next news at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. The Justice Department IG report is out, but why should we believe the IG report if we can't believe the Mueller report? We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So yes, that's FBI Inspector General report, the Horowitz report on ostensibly on Comey and Hillary Clinton. The handling of the Hillary email investigation is going to be out today. President Trump is going to get an advance briefing.
Ooh, do you think he'll tweet about it then? So we can get an advance briefing too?
I don't know. I assume he'll wait for Horowitz's office to issue their report. The suggestion has been made this week by a number of congressmen, including New York's Peter King, that it's going to be rather devastating. He suggests that it will show improprieties by Comey, McCabe, plus the two lovebirds.
Oh,
that would be Strzok and Page. Yeah.
How are they doing?
You heard? Don't know. And Loretta Lynch also perhaps factors into this report. So this will be interesting to see. In addition to that, or sort of in the context of this release, you've had this curious week of reports, including from a woman I regard as the best pure journalist inside the Beltway, Catherine Herridge, Fox News.
I love her.
She reported that Rosenstein, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, had threatened to subpoena emails, phone records, and other documents from lawmakers and staff on the House Intel Committee during a tense meeting earlier this year. This email is reviewed by Fox News documenting the encounter, reflecting what aides described as a personal attack, reports Herridge. going so far as to say that if this committee likes being litigators, this is, again, with respect to this long-running effort to get documents that Congress is entitled to, consistent with their oversight responsibilities. Going as far to say if this committee likes being litigators, then we at DOJ, too, are litigators. We will subpoena your records and emails, referring to the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, as well as Congress overall. One aide also told Herridge that the Deputy Attorney General launched a sustained personal attack against a congressional staffer in retaliation for vigorous oversight, describing it as astonishing and disheartening. Having the nation's #1 for these matters law enforcement officer threaten to subpoena your calls and emails was downright chilling. Now, there's some dispute of this characterization, though. The FBI issued a statement saying all Rosenstein did was to say, if you pursue a contempt charge with me, remember he was threatened with a contempt charge, that he has the right to defend himself and will do so vigorously. Also, interestingly, Jeff Sessions, yesterday, Attorney General Sessions, sort of rallied to the defense of Rosenstein and the FBI's characterization that no such threats were made, that characterizing them as threats is more aggressive than is warranted.
In fact, the FBI director, the senior ethics attorney for the Department of Justice who was in the room, say that's a mischaracterization, really, of what occurred. And it also, I think, indicates that there's been a breakdown of relationships when, in fact, since January, a great deal of progress has been made. We understand in this department that we are accountable to the president, we are accountable to Congress, and we need to be cooperative with them to produce as many documents as rationally and legally and properly as can be produced, to produce them, and we've made tremendous progress in that regard, really.
Yeah, well, with all due respect, General Sessions, not enough. Paul Ryan has had to inveigh on this, get himself involved and inveigh on this. Devin Nunes and other members of Congress continue to beat the drum on this, even those who are inclined to be deferential to the FBI and to Department of Justice, like Trey Gowdy. So Sessions is sort of defending his agency. I understand that, but I think I am more persuaded by Catherine Herridge's reporting with multiple sources backing up the characterization that she reported. So this speaks to larger problems than past employees, senior level officials at FBI, which will be ostensibly covered in the IG report today. We still have this problem at present at the Department of Justice. We have this problem at present at the Department of Justice when it comes to their oversight responsibilities, Rod Rosenstein's oversight responsibilities with respect to Bob Mueller. Oh, and by the way, Bob Mueller and this career prosecutor, consummate professional, integrity beyond reproach, how he was billed coming in and how he is still billed by many, said some lapses in competency, it seems, this week. Have you seen these stories?
Which ones?
Here's one example. He sort of got pantsed by those Russians he indicted because they actually had representation show up in court.
Oh, really?
He may have been using the indictment of some Russian firms and 13 Russian nationals for meddling in the election as a PR stunt.
But they didn't take it that way.
Well,
they're defending themselves.
Interestingly, right, because what they see is an opportunity for discovery. Oh, you want to indict him? Okay, well, fine. Let's move to the discovery phase of the process. Oh, whoa.
Wait,
whoa,
slow your roll.
Whoa. You don't want to get involved in that because you don't want state secrets falling in the hands of foreign intelligence services and erstwhile enemies of the state. Powerline blog noting that Mueller probably didn't see that coming. Perhaps the indictment, as I said, was more of a PR stunt to bolster the Russian collusion, interference, meddling narrative than it was to actually prosecute the case. You never figure you're going to actually get these guys in court and bring them to justice. So let's at least make the statement of principle. Well, now they're sort of jujitsuing this indictment, or at least attempting to, and putting Mueller's team back on their heels. In addition to that, in the Manafort case, Mueller and his team appears to have accidentally outed journalists who produced messages to the FBI about Manafort's alleged coaching up on lobbying practices. A special counsel accidentally exposed names of former journalists and European politicians allegedly involved in Manafort's secret Ukraine lobbying. They just filed a new version of the indictment with redactions, as so reported by Washington Post reporter Rachel Weiner. In addition to sort of their judgment calls, the actual execution of the cases they have brought is not inspiring a lot of confidence. So, oh boy, this is getting interesting in terms of the continued devolution of the standing in the public's mind of FBI, of DOJ, and of Mueller, and the evidence is continuing to mount to support that credibility crisis for those institutions, and including the special counsel and his team. Ken in Lombard, you're in Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, Dan, I wanted to make a comment about this Peter Strzok, who was put in charge of HR for the FBI. When you're in HR, you're in charge of the hiring of new employees and the transfer of employees from other organizations within the government. I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody worked in the civilian end for the Department of the Navy and the Judge Advocate General. They can be floated over as a GS employee to the DOJ or FBI. He is in charge of profiling people and see who's going to fit the organization. That is not a harmless position. What he's doing is setting the template for decades to come. That he needs to be purged. The FBI needs a molecular rearrangement, not just shuffling people around like marked cards in a deck. That's not the way you get things done.
Yeah, I agree with that. Thanks for the call, Ken. And one other thing from this prosecution of James Wolf, the Senate Intel staffer who leaked classified information to his girlfriend, New York Times reporter.
Oh, gosh.
Andy McCabe, let's go back to him, the deputy director. We mentioned this earlier this week. Jonathan Turley had a good piece on it in The Hill, George Washington law professor. Well, wait a second. What's the standard with respect to the rule of law here? If McCabe admitted to Congress he leaked information, he said he had authorization from Comey to do so. Comey says no such thing. But the bottom line is, if McCabe copped to leaking classified information to the media, and right now you've got that James Wolf character under indictment for leaking information to the media, why should James Wolf be under indictment and Andy McCabe not be under indictment for the same act? And remember, this isn't just me saying it or Jonathan Turley saying it. In the previous Inspector General report that torched McCabe on the merits, you had Horowitz refer McCabe for consideration of criminal prosecution. He made a criminal referral. What's Jeff Sessions and Rod Rosenstein's Department of Justice going to do about that? Waiting with bated breath.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Coming up, so if you believe in Trump, you're part of a cult. But first, here's your forecast today. Just a beautiful day. Mostly sunny skies, a few clouds, a high of 81 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 64. And then we start a string of extremely warm days. Friday, it'll be 85 and into the 90s and upper 90s by this weekend. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Aurora. There are closures in Commons and McCoy right outside Fox Valley Mall after an earlier crash. Kennedy, 22 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Eisenhower, 34 minutes, 390 to downtown. Stevenson, 40 minutes, 355 to the drive. Bryan, 18 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 25 minutes. I-80 to the merge, Bishop 436 after road work. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Do you want your basement to be dry most of the time? If so, Permaseal is not the company for you. All too often, Permaseal hears stories of homeowners who say their basement only leaks when it rains. Well, you don't expect your living room or bedroom to get wet, do you? Then why settle and continue to live with a wet, smelly, stinky, possibly moldy basement? The Permaseal team believes your basement should be dry no matter how hard it rains. That's right. You can have a permanently dry basement. Just give them a call, 800-421-SEAL. They offer a free estimate, no haggle pricing, and a price assurance guarantee so you can rest assured that you are getting the best value in the industry. Roy Spencer started Permaseal in 1979, and it's still a local Chicagoland family business doing the right thing and standing behind their work. They also have the most positive reviews of any waterproofing company on the Better Business Bureau website. If you're ready to have a dry basement, then you know what to do. Call Permaseal, 1-800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325, or check out permaseal.net.
Deb, I'm so done with today. Traffic was awful. I couldn't stop for coffee. I have conference calls all morning, plus all these reports to go through. And look, it's 75 and sunny, and I'm stuck in here.
Relax. It's going to be an awesome day. Corporate is throwing a picnic in the parking lot for lunch, and they ordered tasty catering.
What? Did I miss the memo?
Apparently. It's going to be great. They got burgers, grilled chicken, sides, the works. You know, Tasty Catering's picnic food is excellent.
Oh, yeah, I know. We had them for our holiday party.
Today, they're bringing out the Make Your Own Burger Creation Station. They have everything you can think of, like sriracha, blue cheese crumbles, bacon, sautéed mushrooms, and caramelized onions. And they serve it straight off the grill, the way a great burger should be.
Okay, maybe there's still hope for today. I just hope I don't spill mustard on this new tie. Good thing I've got my bib.
You have a bib?
You don't?
Tasty Catering's picnic menu has all the delicious summertime food favorites you crave and more. Go to tastycatering.com to peruse mouth-watering picnic menus and start planning your picnic today. tastycatering.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. I was reading an article the other day that the average American homeowner has over $16,000 in high interest rate credit card debt. Every morning you wake up and you work so hard to get ahead, but by the end of the month, you're just barely getting by. Then when things pop up like new tires, medical bills, school supplies, a laptop, it ends up on the credit cards. Well, the good news is if you're a homeowner, there's never been a better time to do a cash out refinance. Your home is going up in value quicker than it has over the last 10 years. And mortgage rates are still near these all-time low levels. Cash out loans are some of our favorites. Honestly, they really are, because those are the ones that make the greatest impact in a person's financial situation. Those are the loans where we're saving people $500, $1,000, even $2,000 a month. If you do have some credit cards, write them down. Get an idea of how high the balances are, how high the interest rates are, and then apply for a cash-out refinance today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert, LLC, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee.
The Northwest Side GOP Club presents the Ill-Advised Conservative Collective and Banquet. Join them for their annual fundraiser and more, June 21st at Lone Tree Manor in Niles. This is a great opportunity for Chicago area Republicans to get together for an enjoyable evening of information, fellowship, and the promotion of conservative Republican values. The evening begins with a first responder and veteran salute by patriotic rock group Madison Rising and continues with networking, exhibitors, raffles, and a delicious banquet dinner with keynote speaker Dan Proft from AM 560's The Morning Answer. Recently appointed co-chairman of the Illinois Republican Party, Mark Shaw, will also speak on the role of conservatives within the Illinois Republican Party. Like any good conservative collective, the Ill-Advised event will offer attendees the opportunity to interact with local and national organizations, Republican candidates, and elected officials. Don't miss the Northwest Side GOP Club's Ill-Advised Conservative Collective and Banquet with first responder and veteran salute by patriotic rockers Madison Rising, exhibitors, Republican candidates, and elected officials. June 21st at Lone Tree Manor in Niles. Join them as a sponsor, exhibitor, presenter, or attendee. For tickets and complete information, visit il-advised.com. That's il-advised.com.
Attention to this important announcement. If you have ever taken prescriptions like Adderall and are concerned about the side effects and high cost, now there's a new all-natural smart pill available that's the closest thing to a safe, real-life, limitless pill. It's so powerful and effective that students, athletes, and execs all want to get their hands on it. It's called Limitless, a Coastline product, and it's truly remarkable. It can help skyrocket your concentration, improve your creative thinking, enhance your memory, and make you feel like a better version of yourself. Call and find out how to get a free bottle of Limitless and experience this firsthand. It's not a question of whether this powerful pill works, but how great it can make you feel. Take it and watch it go to work. Limitless may be the best kept secret available today.
To find out how to get your free bottle of Limitless, call 800-605-1653. That's 800-605-1653. Get your free bottle for a limited time. Call now, 800-605-1653, 800-605-1653.
Your business's finances are very personal. It's the determining factor on the course you'll take for your family and your employees. But what happens when you're reaching a phase when you need advice? You want to turn to an expert, but who can you trust? Look for someone who is both knowledgeable and involved in the community, like Fred O'Connor of Northwestern Mutual. Fred has worked from Wall Street to Europe in the financial industry, but his calling as an engaged civic leader speaks to the earnest trust Fred has gained over his 30 years serving businesses and the families that run them. Fred serves on the board of the 100 Club of Chicago, the Big Shoulders Fund, and the Irish Fellowship Club. Fred can help you manage risk and plan for your goals, such as rewarding key people and strategies for business exit. Visit FredO'Connor.com to learn more about Fred's services and how he can take your business to the next level. That's FredO'Connor.com. Northwestern Mutual is the marketing name for the Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Fred O'Connor is an insurance agent of NM.
Wildfires, hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, a crashing economy. Are you ready? At best, your local stores have a 3-day supply of food. Will your family have to fight over what's left? Be wise and be ready with 25-year shelf life Wise Food Storage. Try it free. Order a no-obligation free sample meal, and for a limited time, get a 10% discount and free shipping on all orders. Call for your free sample now. 800-787-1010. 800-787-1010.
5:57. Let's get an update on that ride to work this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Tri-State Tollway southbound. It's still a little bit heavy from 137 to past 176. Early road construction has cleared. Eastbound Adams Tollway on the exit to Barrington Road. Ramp's partially blocked right now due to a medical emergency. Farther east, there's a bit of a delay from the Tri-State onto the Kennedy, which is heavy from Cumberland to Canfield. 22 minutes either way between O'Hare and downtown. Eden's okay. Eisenhower, 35 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 30. Stevenson, 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 25 minutes, I-80 to the merge Bishop, 436. Traffic service of Comcast Business. Small business internet providers promise you a lot. Comcast Business offers fast gig speeds across their network. AT&T doesn't. They offer more complete reliability. 8 hours of 4G wireless network backup. AT&T doesn't. Comcast Business gives you more. Comcast Business built for business. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, sunny clouds, high 81, partly cloudy night, low 64. Clouds and sun tomorrow, high 85, then at night, partly cloudy, low 72. Clouds and sun for Saturday, hot day with a high 93. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560. The Answer.
67 at O'Hare, 66 along Chicago's lakefront. The news service of LifeLock. No one wants to wake up to the news that they're the victim of identity theft or that malware is attacking their smartphone. That's why new LifeLock with Norton now includes protection for your identity and devices. Join at LifeLock.com. Use that promo code RISK to save an additional 10% off your first year. 5:59, here are the stories we're following on AM 560, The Answer. Chicago police are investigating a possible connection between a missing woman and a teen found dead on the city's west side. Mayor Emanuel in the city of Chicago expected to comment early this morning on Elon Musk's Boring Company, now tasked with bringing planned high-speed transit tunnels to Chicago. State of Illinois workers are a step closer to a $400 million payday, bailed out by the taxpayers of the state. Florida woman is dead after she fell from a swing inside of a showroom at the Merchandise Mart in Chicago's River North neighborhood. Brewers blank the Cubs. White Sox beat the Indians at Guaranteed Rate Field. Sunrise in Chicago, WIND, Chicago News Time 6.
The Secretary of State goes to China. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The day after President Trump tweeted North Korea is no longer a nuclear threat. Fox's Simon Owen monitoring live from London.
Dave, speaking in Beijing, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo saying progress is being made with North Korea.
We now believe we have a path forward which can truly, for the first time in so many years, create peace on the peninsula.
Before heading to China, Pompeo meeting in Seoul with his South Korean and Japanese counterparts. He dismissed a suggestion from North Korea that President Trump might relax sanctions gradually as the North gives up its nuclear weapons program. Pompeo saying the penalties will only be lifted when denuclearization has been achieved. Dave?
Simon, the Pentagon's expected today to announce a cancellation of the next planned military exercises with South Korea in August. Democrats remain critical.
The summit was much more show than substance, what the Texans call all cattle, no hat.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says North Korea's leader was the victor, not President Trump. The Justice Department's Inspector General will issue his report today on how the investigation into Hillary Clinton's private email while Secretary of State was handled.
I think it's going to put a lot of the missing pieces in this giant puzzle together.
GOP Congressman Bob Goodlatte may be critical of former FBI Director James Comey, who angered Republicans not charging Clinton, then upset Democrats reopening the probe weeks before the 2016 election. A terror plot thwarted in Germany. Prosecutors say they stopped an Islamic extremist's plot to use the poison ricin. It was found in his apartment. He is under arrest. What might have been a tornado smashed through Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania last night.
Many buildings are pretty much destroyed. Significant damage throughout basically a half-mile square radius.
Councilmember John Jablowski. Cars were also tossed around, trees and power lines taken down, but no major injuries reported. Fox News, fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. And hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
When posting on most job sites, you get candidates.
I'm the sales director.
I'm the sales
director you're looking for.
But when you post on Indeed.com, you get the candidates just right for you.
I'm a sales director with an MBA, over 10 years experience, who's also fluent in Japanese.
With Indeed, you can add screener questions for a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates.
Arigato.
Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
You don't remember days, you remember moments. But when the old tapes and photos that hold your cherished memories degrade, or worse, you lose them, they're gone forever. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger. We started Legacy Box to help you preserve those irreplaceable moments.
Load your Legacy Box with your old tapes, film, pictures, and audio, and send them in. You'll get them back on DVD or a convenient thumb drive.
Visit legacybox.com/USA. And for a limited time, you'll get 40% off your order. legacybox.com/USA.
That's Dot. She's here to greet me after a long day. She's the only one who wants to be near me when I'm sick. She's my best friend. Thanks to folks like South Suburban Humane Society, Dot went from living on the street to a dog that wears clothes. Yep, I'm that guy. So how did I get so lucky? Before I met Dot, I spent time at South Suburban. Giving to a nonprofit isn't always about giving money or donating food and supplies, although that's appreciated too. South Suburban Pets just want your love. We encourage you to come by the facility, take a dog for a walk, play with Dot's cat friends, or even foster a pet to keep your flexibility. If you're interested in how you can volunteer or donate, visit them at southsuburbanhumane.org. That's right, Dot. South Suburban is a 501c3, which means all donations are tax deductible for individuals and businesses. Text DONATE to 708-866-0065 or visit southsuburbanhumane.org. South Suburban Humane Society, creating a better world for pets and their people.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. President Trump discussing the relationship with Kim Jong-un, the progress that was made at the summit, that they have a framework for denuclearization. Yesterday we talked about his sit-down with Clinton Foundation donor Zero, and today, per an interview he did on Air Force One yesterday with Brett Baer, he built upon that by talking more specifically about his confidence that well, he's serious, of course, but that his confidence that Kim Jong-un is serious about denuclearization.
This should have been done 10 years, 15, 20 years ago. This shouldn't be done now where they have an arsenal of nuclear weapons. This should have never allowed to get to this point. With that being said, Chairman Kim wants to resolve the problem because he knew that we weren't playing around. I wasn't playing around. He's not playing around. We have a very, I really say for a fairly short-term relationship because it was unbelievably hostile, the rhetoric. Rhetorically, it was unbelievably hostile. And I think we have a very good relationship. We understand each other.
Is his confidence misplaced? Or does he have a third-eye insight into one Kim Jong-un? For more on this, we're pleased to be joined by Michael Rubin, resident scholar for the American Enterprise Institute, author of a number of books, including Dancing with the Devil and Kurdistan Rising, former Pentagon official. Michael, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me, Dan. Thanks for having me, Amy.
Our pleasure. And so what do you take what's your take, I should say, in response to Trump's confidence in Kim Jong-un?
Call me dubious. And the reason I'm dubious is if we look back over the history of negotiations with North Korea, we have a pattern where it becomes very easy to come to declarative statements that we want denuclearization. The problem is what that means. And when we start negotiating into the details, that's when it all falls apart. Donald Trump isn't orthodox. He thinks outside the box, and that can be a good thing. But in effect, what he's done with the summit is do things in reverse, where he gives the big high-profile meeting first, and then figures, well, we can just deal with all the details later. In the past, when we've tried to get to all the details, again, things just haven't worked out the way we thought.
Well, Mike Pompeo, was in South Korea. Now he's in China this morning. But he, said yesterday verification is going to be required and that there has to be denuclearization before those sanctions are lifted. Do you trust in that process?
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Mike Pompeo. And the thing which Donald Trump is doing differently is that he's not giving a bunch of incentives up front, at least financial incentives up front. And that's a very positive thing because oftentimes North Korea, and this is a common issue with rogue regimes in general, are much more interested in the process because they can get a lot of money during the process rather than coming to the ultimate conclusion to make that decision for peace. So as far as that goes, that's important. But also remember, this isn't the first time that North Korea has supposedly promised denuclearization. Under the George H.W. Bush administration, Brent Scowcroft negotiated a denuclearization deal on the Korean Peninsula. Kim's grandfather signed off on that, and it ended up going nowhere.
Right. I mean, we've been on this merry-go-round before, there's no question, or been on this merry-go-round for the past 35 years. The two areas where Trump has received some criticism from the left and the right, get your take on. One is some of his arguably overly complimentary rhetoric in the direction of Kim Jong-un, who's a dictator and a thug. And number two, announcing the suspension of war games, whether it did or did not catch the Pentagon off guard, the substance of suspending those war games, offering a concession where all they have from Kim Jong-un is a statement of principle. What do you say to those criticisms?
I join in both of those criticisms. One of the more interesting things about the summit was the slick 4-minute Hollywood-produced video, which Donald Trump presented to Kim, which basically gave a vision of what North Korea would be like if North Korea makes the decision to join the rest of the world. And it basically showed North Korea transforming from what it is now into sort of like a Miami Beach. And in fact, I think they used the skyline of Miami Beach in the video. Now, the point of this is there's a reason why Miami Beach developed the way it did, whereas Cuba and Nicaragua didn't. Yeah. And it's because of freedom, it's because of liberty. we've tried, and this is what I don't think Trump mentioned, is we've tried to sort of build up the tourist industry in the past. When I say we, I mean South Korea. In 1998, I believe it was, they created a tourist zone, and 1 million South Koreans flocked to this tourist zone at a mountain about 30 miles north of the DMZ, and that all came screeching to a halt when a South Korean woman strayed off a walking path and was shot dead by a North Korean soldier. The point of this is if you're not going to address basic issues of human rights and freedom, you're not going to be able to develop North Korea the way Donald Trump outlined in his vision.
Why hasn't President Trump been, stronger about denouncing, the oppression of the people under the Kim Jong-un regime?
Well, I think for Donald Trump, it's just philosophical in this case that he sees it as an impediment to other issues, and he sees it as an infringement on the sovereignty of North Korea. He wants to reinforce this notion that we are not going to infringe on the sovereignty of North Korea. I mean, there's a logic there. It happens to be a logic with which I disagree.
Yeah, and I mean, part of it is even if you can see the logic of it, because he has obviously spoken in no uncertain terms about North Korea previously, thinking about Otto Warmberg's murder and a release, and then of course his death shortly thereafter. And so Rocket Man, he's ridiculed Kim Jong-un and the regime. So it's not like it's all been namby-pamby rhetoric from Trump, but during this phase of the relationship, it just seems to me, even if you want to tamp down some of the heated rhetoric for the purposes of advancing the larger goal of denuclearization, okay, fine. But he's just taking it a little too far for my taste when he talks about Kim Jong-un being a tough guy, only 1 in 10,000 people could do what Kim Jong-un's done in North Korea. I don't know. There's a lot of people who would be thugs and would be thugs if they were given totalitarian power from their father. It doesn't seem like a big accomplishment to me. I just think it's been a little bit too much, even if you concede the point that you should round off the edges with some of the rhetoric.
No, I absolutely agree. And while it's cheap to bring up World War II, Nazi rhetoric, and so forth, human rights organizations regularly say that the concentration camps which exist in North Korea are actually worse than what existed in Germany during World War II. They exist for different purposes, but the end results are the same. And it's just a level of repression that I don't think many Americans can even envision. And when you look at the North Korean philosophy with regard to this, if you are deemed politically disloyal, and that could be a result of, for example, not crying sufficiently when the late leader is mentioned, not only are you condemned, but 3 generations of your family are condemned. It's hard to imagine a regime that upholds those values somehow joining and interacting with the rest of the world.
Do you think the people of North Korea even know what's going on? I mean, do they have access to the information that President Trump has met with Kim Jong-un?
Well, for a while it was actually interesting because while there was vague mention that there was going to be a meeting, it was only a day before the meeting occurred that the North Korean media mentioned that, yes, there would be a meeting, it would be in Singapore, and so forth. But, in North Korea, there's really 2 North Koreas. There's Pyongyang, which is the capital, which only the elite and screened loyalists can live in. And then there's the rest of the countryside. And I don't think that the rest of the countryside is really aware of what's going on here. But that's another issue. If North Korea is serious about peace, after generations of propaganda demonizing the United States, they've got to start preparing their public. And that's actually the sign that I'd be looking for. And the fact that I don't see it, Amy, is what worries me deeply.
How do you think Beijing and Moscow are receiving the summit and Trump's characterizations of it subsequent to it?
Beijing looks, let me put it this way. North Korea is to Beijing what Hezbollah is to Iran. And therefore, Beijing feels that no matter what happens, they're going to be in the driver's seat. They're going to be able to benefit. From Beijing's standpoint, a legitimization of North Korea would probably be a good thing. At the same time, what communist China is most obsessed with is Japan. And when we talk about South Korea embracing this sort of process and so forth, the only regional country which has been urging caution is Japan. So really the U.S. ally Japan is the outlier here. With regard to Russia, I'm going to put that on hold because while Russia does share a tiny border with North Korea, China is really the elephant in the room here.
And what about Syria? I mean, President Assad met with Kim Jong-un 2 weeks ago.
Well, that really just kind of shows where Syria is. For all the talk about Bashar al-Assad being a Western-educated doctor, perhaps he can bring stability. He's an anti-Islamist and so forth. Sometimes a rogue is just a rogue. And this is what we see repeatedly, that we can always pretend with diplomacy that rogue leaders can somehow change, but ultimately the only time you get a regime actually changing is when that rogue leader steps down.
How do you react to the Nobel talk, for Rodman, of course, but also for President Trump?
I tend to find it ridiculous, but this isn't a thing against Donald Trump. My problem with the Nobel Peace Prize is the Nobel Peace Prize is awarded differently than all the other Nobels. All the other Nobels are awarded from Sweden and usually from a panel of experts. The Nobel Peace Prize is awarded in Norway, and it's from a panel of politicians. While all the other Nobel Prizes look at a life's work, a life's record of work, the Nobel Peace Prize tends to be aspirational. Just look at the award for Barack Obama.
Right.
No one actually wants to see 30 years later whether that piece worked. They're voting on hope, and too often that hope goes unrealized. I kind of think, as with many politicians and things that politicians touch, the Nobel Peace Prize Committee is a bit ridiculous.
I think I understand also Barack Obama is under consideration for another Nobel for his forthcoming Netflix shows. So,
maybe for literature, maybe for poetry, who knows?
Could be a two-time winner.
Could
be a two-time winner. Speaking of the Obama administration, Ben Rhodes' new book, it's interesting, kind of outing some of the behind the scenes of Obama foreign policy decision-making, most notably recently this week, the red line. And how that red line and defending the red line or not defending the red line in Syria that Obama rhetorically drew, how that went down. And it was interesting because Rhodes essentially characterized the President Obama, as looking for a way to not defend the red line. And so the way that he found was to go seek congressional authorization to do so, knowing he wouldn't get it, so he didn't have to do anything about the marker that he put down.
It's kind of interesting because there's a pattern here. When it came, for example, to withdrawing the U.S. forces from Iraq, the big issue that you may remember was we wanted the Iraqi parliament to grant our troops immunity when Iraqi Prime Minister Maliki refused to send this to the parliament. We walked away. Now, what's oftentimes not told in that story is before we raised our demand that immunity be voted upon by the Iraqi parliament, as an executive authority, Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki had agreed to allow U.S. troops to stay, and then we came back and added this extra condition. Maliki had complained to me shortly after the time in a meeting I had with him that the United States won't take yes for an answer. And so we see this continued pattern where we keep doing things that we know are going to end in rejection and then use that as an excuse, A, to not do them, and B, to have an excuse to sort of divert responsibility for that decision away from us as a person, in this case Obama. And to me, that's basically an affront to leadership on two different levels. Number one, you know you're doing the wrong thing. Number two, you don't want to bear personal responsibility for it.
And the other example is, which has been, I guess, unsurprisingly underreported in D.C., is the Iranian deal and the Obama administration lying to Congress about what they were doing with respect to releasing funds to the Iranian regime and trying to get U.S. banks to violate the law, in terms of converting currency for the Iranians. The U.S. banks wouldn't do it, but that doesn't obviate the effort by the Obama administration to cover their lie to Congress with trying to get U.S. banks to violate the law.
No, you're absolutely right, Dan. And as you know, I testified in Congress in the House Oversight Committee on this last week. The fact of the matter is, the deeper we go into this, the more just legally and constitutionally disgusting it becomes when people walked away, when Donald Trump walked away from the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, people made it seem like this huge thing, this turning our back on the law, turning our back on the international system. But it was Julia Freifeld, Secretary of State John Kerry under Obama's Assistant Secretary for Legislative Affairs, who actually sent a note to then Congressman Mike Pompeo saying, hey, look, not only is this agreement unsigned, but it's not a treaty, it's not an executive agreement, it's just a political agreement, and part of that political, so it's weak. Part of that political agreement, however, was that when it passed Congress, that all these side deals would be given to Congress as a condition of congressional approval. And what we found out is, frankly, the Obama administration lied. And frankly, it's getting more serious because the Obama administration lied during hearings to Congress. And so the House Oversight Committee would be within its right to call some of these officials back, even though they're not out of office, because they lied directly under oath to Congress.
He is Michael Rubin, resident scholar for the American Enterprise Institute, the author of a number of books, including Dancing with the Devil and Kurdistan Rising. Michael, thanks for joining us. Always appreciate your insights.
Hey, thanks for having me, Dan and Amy.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up, want to eat pizza in bed? Well, there's a box for that. But first, here's your forecast. Today, plenty of sunshine, a few high clouds, just gorgeous for our annual AM 560 The Answer golf outing, which benefits the 100 Club of Chicago. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 64. And then the next 4 or 5 days, it's going to be hot around here for Father's Day weekend. Friday, a high of 85, and into the lower to upper 90s for this weekend. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, the one, the only. Happy early Father's Day. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Oh, thank you, Amy. Good morning. Of course, every day is Mother's Day, right? So happy Mother's Day. Good morning. Morning, Dan. Well, traffic is deep dish thick on the inbound Bishop Ford right now from 130th to the Rye, and it is jammed solid. It's 40 minutes from 8094 to the merge. Outbound fine at 15. I-57, a little better. 25 minutes from I-80 to the Rye. Aiden's okay at 19 minutes either way between Lake Cook and Montrose, but the eastbound spur has delays past Waukegan Road to the Edens. Kennedy, 23 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 22. Eisenhower, 45 minutes, 390 to the Circle. Outbound 31. Stevenson, 53 minutes, 355 to the Drive. Ryan is 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State heavy now. Harlem to Archer, from the Stevenson to Ogden, and from the Reagan Tollway to past North Avenue. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, for years you've heard of St. John's Northwestern Military Academy in beautiful southeast Wisconsin. It's about a half hour from Milwaukee, and it serves young men with an outstanding education and preparation for life. And now that same experience is available for young women. There's personal growth through a commitment to excellence. There's academics, spiritual, character development, athletics, and the military traditions that have been shaping young minds since 1884. It is an impressive place located on 110 acres. It's breathtaking, and the cadets are so well behaved, well mannered. I was blown away. They offer grades 7 through 12. There's boarding or day boarding, and they're going full co-ed this summer. Summertime, you can enroll in academic courses, or you can do the summer fun camp, 4 one-week sessions. There's day boarding, or you can board the kids for the entire week. If you want to go online and see what fun they're going to have, I'd like to go to the camp. It's sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org. Check out their YouTube video. You can see all the fun that the boys and now girls are going to have over the summer. And there's also information there for year-round school application process. Spaces are limited, so get on this now. Go to sjnma.org for year-round schooling or for their summer program, or simply call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 800-SJ-CADET.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I went from being able to work 14, 16 hours a day with no problem to where I could barely walk a block to the store. I went on to the phytonutrients about 6 months ago, and within a couple of months, my medical doctor had cut my prescriptions down in a little bit smaller dosage. The next time I went back a month later, I walked into the doctor's office and he says, "My gosh, what's happened to you? You don't even look like the same person." He looked at my legs and the swelling had gone down. My blood pressure was down. The venous stasis ulcers that I had had on my legs for the last 4 or 5 years because of the poor circulation were all healed, and I'm feeling far better.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Nowadays, there's an app for everything, and here's one that's a must-have if you golf. It's the Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app, and it'll enhance your golf experience. You can book tee times at Bolingbrook Golf Club. There's an interactive scorecard, golf games, a GPS, latest news from the club, even a food and beverage menu, Facebook sharing, and more. Just about everything you need for your golf game besides the clubs is in the palm of your hand with the new Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app. Go to bolingbrookgolfclub.com/contact/download our app. bolingbrookgolfclub.com/contact/download our app. And download today.
Are you ready to take your golf game to the elite level? The Bolingbrook Elite Athlete Training Program, or BEAT, is the highest level of training designed to maximize potential and develop highly skilled players. You'll learn from the Bolingbrook Golf Club's world-class instructors. They've designed practice schedules and content to maximize player development. For the athlete that aspires to compete and train at the highest levels, check out BEAT, Bolingbrook Elite Athlete Training. More info at bolingbrookgolfclub.com.
Hey, Chicagoland, Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com. He's one of us, and he just gets it. Ryan, great to talk to you again. Look, obviously home prices are going up, and homes are moving fast. Somebody's looking to sell their home in the Chicagoland area. What do they do?
Well, if you're looking to sell your house, I tell you, just kind of make up a price and put a for sale by owner sign out in the front yard, and you should have no problem selling that house. There's just not enough inventory. There's more buyers out there than there are sellers. But if you're thinking about buying a house, that's where you really better be on your A game. You better be pre-approved, and pre-approved by a strong mortgage lender. At the Home Loan Expert Office, when we pre-approve you to buy a house, we go over your credit with you. We go over interest rates, payments, give you a good idea of what you should be looking for and what your price points are. And then we pre-approve you on a gold piece of paper. Literally, our pre-approvals are written on gold. And we send those to the agents. They know that you're ready to buy. Don't miss the house of your dreams. Get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee.
Men, are you tired of those daily blue enhancement pills that take days, weeks, or months to work, if they ever work at all? Listen up. Now you can take Red, the new natural male empowerment pill that works on demand. Even your partner will notice the difference the very first time you use it. To prove Red won't disappoint like the others, you're invited to participate in our nationwide I Take Red Partner Reaction Guarantee Trial. We're seeking participants for this nationwide trial, not only to prove it works the very first time you try it. We guarantee your partner will also notice the difference. Forget those slow-acting blue pills and join those who proudly take Red. Over 50,000 pills have already been claimed and supplies are limited. So to ensure your participation in this free nationwide trial, you must call now.
Superior virility on demand. You only need to take Red once to see what all the fuss is about. Call immediately to participate in our free nationwide trial. Call 800-658-0723. 800-658-0723. Be one of thousands to proudly say, I take Red. 800-658-0723.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, we'll talk about it in more detail a little bit later, but I just wanted to be first out of the gate. We were able to get an advanced copy of Elon Musk's presentation.
Oh, that he's going to have with Tiny Dancer today this afternoon.
Yeah,
big
press
reveal.
Conference. Yeah, on these 16-passenger autonomous vehicles that are going to shuttle you to and fro O'Hare, exceeding speeds of 100 miles an hour.
Oh, in 12 minutes. Looking at the pod, where's the room for the luggage? That's just a minor detail.
Separate pod.
Okay.
This is just—it's probably contemplated in the deck that Elon Musk will go through in painstaking detail, I'm sure. But here's a little preview of what we're going to hear today from Musk.
Monorail.
I hear those things are awfully loud.
It glides as softly as a cloud. Is there a chance the track could bend? Not on your life, my Hindu friend.
What about us brain-dead slobs?
You'll be given cushy jobs.
Were you sent here by the devil?
No, good sir, I'm on the level.
The ring came off my pudding can.
Take my penknife, my good man. I swear it's Springfield's only choice. Throw up your hands and raise your voice.
Monorail.
What's it called?
Monorail.
Once again.
spoken.
Sorry, Mom. The mob has spoken.
Mono, don't!
I think the Chicago Press Corps provides a nice chorus, as they
yes.
will most certainly do this afternoon.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Obamacare premium spikes projected at 15% this coming year. What is a House Republican to do about it? We'll ask one. His name is Peter Roskam at 636.
And is it an effective campaign ad? A Democratic candidate made a point on firearms by putting a liquid on his face. We'll explain. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
Sunshine, 65 degrees. The Justice Department report on the FBI's handling of the Hillary Clinton email investigation is scheduled to be released later today. Strong speculation it will be highly critical of former FBI Director James Comey. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo continues his shuttle diplomacy. The Trump administration seeing a bright future for North Korea if it denuclearizes. Pompeo telling reporters in South Korea the president's summit with the North Korean leader will mark a new era in relations with that reclusive nation. Firefighters in Colorado are looking at tough conditions against a blaze that has now burned through more than 26,000 acres. The 416 fire is only 15% contained. Well, you're staring at the sky tonight, and in fact, yes, you're right, the Earth and Mars are getting closer. On July 31st, the two planets will be closer than they've been to one another in about 15 years. It's what's called a close approach. Mars actually will be about 35.8 million miles from Earth. Jury selection begins today in the Quintonio LeGrier wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Chicago. LeGrier's family filed that suit after he was shot by Chicago police officer Robert Rialmo on the west side. Neighbor Betty Jones was also killed in that shooting. Chicago city leaders are agreeing to pay Jones's family a $16 million settlement. Elon Musk's Boring Company is now tasked with bringing planned high-speed transit tunnels to Chicago. Mayor Emanuel's administration apparently chose the billionaire tech entrepreneur's company to win the bid. Mayor's office will have more on that announcement later this morning. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson trying to dispel rumors that there is a serial kidnapper on the loose in the city. Johnson spoke yesterday about what he called misinformation on social media.
There is no credible information that we have a serial kidnapper going around in the black community, pillaging. That's just not true.
At least 6 women and teenage girls have been reported missing on the south and west sides since March. A veteran Chicago journalist is in critical condition following a serious bicycle accident. Channel 11 reporting that Elizabeth Brackett is in a coma at Stroger Hospital after suffering injuries, including 2 fractured vertebrae in her neck. The 76-year-old is a world champion triathlete. Chicago sports, Brewers blanked the Cubs 1-0 at Miller Park. Dylan Covey took a shutout into the 8th inning. White Sox beat the Indians 3-2. The news, a service of Napa. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, 5-quart jugs of Pennzoil full synthetic motor oil is just $23.99, plus a $10 mail-in rebate. Quality parts, helpful people, that is Napa know-how. General States prices do not include applicable state and local taxes or recycling fees. 6:33 is our time. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager says the left has ruined yet another event.
So the latest is the Miss America pageant. They are dropping the swimsuit competition and the evening gown competition. See, what a major factor of the left is fear of life, fear of reality.
These people are to the right of the religious right.
We don't want any thoughts of sin.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply. Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and this week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited, so text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000 right now because this free ticket offer expires this Friday. Just text your zip code to 82,000.
6:35 on AM 560. It is time for a dry basement and a healthy home. Time to call Permaseal. 800-421-SEAL. Check the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Northbound Tri-State traffic slow from 111th to 87th. Really slow Archer to 47th. And from the Reagan Tollway to past North Avenue. But Adams Tollway a bit tight. 31 to the Fox River Bridge. Reagan Tollway 22nd at Roosevelt. Northbound Veterans Memorial slow. Roosevelt to St. Charles. Aiden's 25 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 19. Kennedy now 39 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 18 from Montrose. 13 of the Express. Outbound 24 minutes to the airport. Eisenhower 56 minutes, 390 to the Circle. Outbound 35, Stevenson, 53 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. Traffic service at Lowe's. If you're active or veteran U.S. military personnel, Lowe's would like to honor your service by offering you 10% savings every day for purchases you make in-store or online. For details, visit lowes.com/military. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Sun and clouds today, high near 81, partly cloudy and 64 overnight. Currently, we have 66 at O'Hare, 67 along the lakefront. Next news at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by the Townstone Financial Show, Saturday afternoons at 1. Nobody values your mortgage business like Townstone. Listen and call for the best advice.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. Wall Street Journal opining this week that Republicans are in a predictable spot as they head to the midterm election. The party failed to repeal Obamacare, and the press is waving around double-digit premium increases for 2019. One estimate, this coming from the CBO, Congressional Budget Office, 19% increase on average in Washington State, 24% in New York. Mid-level plans across the board on the exchanges would absorb about a 15% premium increase for 2019. Now, again, this is in addition to the doubling of premiums that has occurred under Obamacare between 2013 and 2017. So on average, the premiums have doubled. Now they're projected to go up by on average 15%. Some other analyses have some markets facing significantly higher premium increases. Blue Cross Blue Shield did an analysis suggesting that consumers in some markets could face 80% rate hikes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Who wants that?
So this is, as the Wall Street Journal opined, Republicans in a predictable place. What are they to do about it? For more on this topic and others, we're pleased to be joined by Peter Roskam, Republican Congressman from Illinois' 6th Congressional District. Peter, thanks for joining us.
Dan and Amy, good to be with you this morning. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. And so what about the state of play with respect to revisiting Obamacare, repeal and replace?
So I think it's number one, it's good to remember it's called Obamacare and not GOP care. So Obamacare has done what folks on the right were predicting it would do, and that is pushing people out, making premiums go up, making deductibles go up. And that's where the failure lies. So the rescue effort was not successful. The rescue effort was largely last year where we moved the bill through the House. that would have taken on this challenge, but the Senate wasn't able to move it for all their mercurial reasons, and now we are where we are. So in the subcommittee that I chair in the Ways and Means Committee last week, we had a hearing and we're preparing to move forward on legislation on health savings accounts, making these more expansive and more flexible and giving people more control of their dollars and getting them in sync with high deductible plans. So in the short run, between now and the fall, that's what I'm going to be advocating for, because I think that is the best move. That said, it's not a complete remedy by any stretch of the imagination. The other thing is we're pushing hard on a regulatory relief effort as it relates to physicians and hospitals. In other words, going to them and saying, what are the regulations that are coming out of Obamacare that are just crushing you? And we're moving a body of work, working with the administration to change and repeal some of the regulatory red tape that is such a hassle.
Do you think if we ever, remember we liked our doctor and we wanted to keep our doctor, are we going to ever return to those days?
I miss my doctor.
I miss my doctor. No, a lot of people
look, I mean,
can't see their physicians, and that's a strong bond that they had because they've been dealing with their illnesses for years, and then they were just cut off.
For real. You both know my constituency well, the north and northwest suburbs, and I hear from people all the time, I mean weekly, who have found themselves just whipsawed by this law. And here's the irony. The political left really engaged in a zero-sum game politics here. In other words, during the debate on Obamacare, they created a false impression that there was no cost to this and that it was all going to be great. You can keep your doctor, premiums are going to go down. Every family on average is going to save $2,500 per year, and a bunch of nonsense. And what they did was they took away from people and in an effort to give to somebody else. And that is not the politics of invitation, which is why this is such an unsettled thing. If it was such a great law, it would have been well settled and the country would have turned on. But there's a restlessness right now, and you can just feel it. People are really unsatisfied where we are.
Paul Ryan announced this week that the House will take up a couple of immigration bills next week, including the Goodlatte bill, a congressman from Virginia, that would provide a path for legalization for dreamers, but also end the diversity visa program, require employers to use E-Verify, while establishing a guest worker program. And, of course, we know that President Trump wants border wall funding and ending chain migration as well. Where do you stand on some of those component parts of an immigration bill, and what do you think is going to come out of the House next week?
I don't know what's going to come out of the House. It's a very tumultuous place right now, particularly as it relates to immigration. I go back to the four pillars, basically, that President Trump outlined, and I think I think my prediction is you're going to have the Goodlatte bill, and then you're going to have a bill that Paul Ryan will put on the floor, and he's been trying to craft and bring people together on it that is something that adheres to the four pillars that President Trump articulated: border security, dealing with DACA, and so forth, and internal enforcement, and the rest. So I'm out of the predicting business as it relates to this.
Wow. President Trump.
Well, just one other follow up on that. But what are your must-haves? I mean, what do you think has to be included for something?
I think the must-haves are two things. Number one, you need border security, just without question. It's a non-starter. And then the second thing is you need a pathway. You gotta have these DACA kids get right with the law. I, for years, have been saying take one step at a time on immigration, and the only way to do this is to break it down one step at a time. And folks that think that there's going to be an all or nothing, the Immigration Reform Act of 2018 that's going to fix it all is not going. It's not realistic. We saw that happen with Obamacare, where it was all or nothing, and it was a disaster. I think take one step and then another step and then another step. So in my view, the smart move is border security, link that with DACA, and then take a breath and come back and do other things. But don't try and jam everything.
What's your interpretation of border security? Building a wall, putting more
I think
Border
wall
Patrol
works.
agents along the border? What do you think?
Yeah, I think a wall works in urban areas. I've been down to the Nogales station, and just without question, walls work there. I don't think walls necessarily work out in the middle of the boondocks, and there's other technologies. So it can be either an actual physical barrier, which I think is the smarter move in urban areas, and it can be a virtual wall. But look, part of this is we've got to change the underlying statute. So right now, if you're in the Border Patrol and you want to pursue somebody, there are now protected lands from an environmental point of view that prohibit you from crossing onto those lands in pursuit of people who are breaking the law. And obviously the lawbreakers couldn't care less about environmental laws. So a lot of this stuff is sort of normalizing and regularizing law enforcement to giving the border folks the tools they need to do the job.
There's some frustration with from Republicans, about spending, and that $1.3 trillion omnibus spending bill is a case in point. Then House Republicans moved to do some rescissions to offer some spending cuts, even in the wake of that omnibus spending bill. And you were one Republican who voted against it's H.R. 3, spending cuts to Expired and Unnecessary Programs Act. I always love the titles of these acts. But you voted against that, even sort of modest spending cuts in the wake of that omnibus spending bill. Why?
Because it's a gimmick. It's going nowhere in the Senate. This is a negotiated deal. Like you and I talked about a couple of weeks ago, the spending drivers are entitlement spending. And this is not going to save any money. And look, on the discretionary side of things, that is the part that Congress actually appropriates. From 2010 to 2018, the real number from discretionary spending from a Republican Congress is down in actual dollars. So this was just too much gimmickry for me, and I didn't want to participate in it.
On the spending side, continuing on that note, there was a resolution that emanated out of your former House, the State House, that essentially rejected Trump's infrastructure plan, sort of, categorically in principle, even though we don't really know what the component parts are at this point. And I think it was, and it included some Republicans voting for it too, rather incredibly. The point for the resolution opposing it, it seemed to me, was, well, Trump wants to make states pay more of the freight for federal transportation dollars or infrastructure building dollars. Where does that stand, and how do you react to a resolution opposing the state picking up more of the share of bridges and roads and the rest, mass transit, that they want to do in their localities?
I think a lot of the things that happen right now in the Illinois General Assembly are just basically sloughed off as not serious. So other states are not waiting around. Other states are engaging. Other states are figuring out how to deploy resources, leveraging them, creating public-private partnerships, and so forth. So, some sort of show vote in the Illinois General Assembly based on a political agenda, I just don't think is very persuasive. And Illinois should be figuring out how to right its ship rather than engaging on things like that right now.
And where does a potential infrastructure plan coming out of either the House or coming from the White House for consideration, where does that stand? Everybody
likes talking about where the money gets spent. Nobody wants to talk about where the money's coming from.
That sounds right.
3 minutes ago, right? So you and I are talking about that's discretion. I was talking about discretionary spending, and that's where it comes from. So you either find money within discretionary spending lines and redeploy them, which is possible, or you come up with a new source of revenue. Okay, on the new revenue side, you can tax gasoline, which is ridiculous. You can impose tolls. You can tax carbon, which is ridiculous. You can tax miles, which the folks in the rural areas and some civil libertarians are really creeped out by, with the Big Brother element of it. So, again, that gets to everybody likes talking about the spending. Nobody wants to talk about either the revenues or the cuts that have to come as a result of it. So it's all talk right now.
All right. He is Peter Roskam, Congressman from Illinois 6th, as you heard, the northwest suburbs, hailing from Wheaton. Peter Roskam, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Wholesale prices on the rise. Target stores under fire for offensive greeting cards. And Steve Scalise may join tonight's congressional baseball game. Those stories next.
How much do you spend on your pest control each year? $200, $300, or even $500 or more? What if I said you could spend less than $25 a year, even less with promo code SAVE20? Then listen up. G'day, I'm Scott from Plug-in Pest Free, and yes, it is possible to rid your home or business of unwanted pests for less than $25 per year. The answer is Plug-in Pest Free. Our best seller, the Plug-in Pest Free Pro, will cover up to 4,000 square feet. Now that's fair income. For just a one-time cost of only $249, even less with promo code SAVE20, you'll be pest-free for years to come. Log on to gopestfree.com today. Use promo code SAVE20 and start driving those pests away. Don't spray and regret. Plug in and forget. Gopestfree.com. That's gopestfree.com. Promo code SAVE20.
Wholesale prices posting the largest 12-month gain since January of 2012. Retailer Target apologizing for a Father's Day card that featured an African-American couple and the words baby daddy. Some customers offended, calling it a derogatory term. Target says it's removing the cards from its stores. Tonight at Nationals Park in Washington, the annual congressional baseball game. Ticket sales already raising $1.5 million for charity. Among those in attendance, President Trump and House Republican Whip Steve Scalise of Louisiana, critically wounded during a shooting at last year's practice, may be in the game for at least a few plays. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
The rapid evolution of technology and industrial robotic automation systems offers a multitude of solutions that give manufacturers a competitive advantage. From ergonomics, quality control, and the need to meet increased production goals while improving the lives of everybody on the factory floor, industrial robotic automation can mean increased profitability and higher quality jobs. Matrix Industrial Automation has built a reputation as an industry leader in developing, building, and installing a wide range of turnkey robotic automation systems. Manufacturers big and small, local and worldwide, depend on Matrix to deliver the most optimal and robust industrial automation systems with improved ROI in mind. Nearly 2 decades of experience and hundreds of installed systems is why Matrix Industrial Automation, headquartered in Bartlett, Illinois, are the industrial automation experts. For information or to schedule a free automation consultation, visit matrixindustrialautomation.com or call 847-841-8260. That's matrixindustrialautomation.com.
Have you racked up more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? You should know. The credit card companies are tricking you into thinking there's no way out. Credit card companies would rather you didn't know that there are ways you can become debt-free and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. There are debt relief programs that help people like you escape overwhelming credit card debt. National Debt Relief has helped tens of thousands of people just like you reduce more than $500 million of debt. National Debt Relief has helped so many people. They're A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan. You have the right to settle your debt for a mere fraction of what you owe. Reduce a portion of your debt now. Call National Debt Relief at 800-518-4020. 800-518-4020. That's 800-518-4020.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that use Balance of Nature as well.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. I take Balance of Nature because I know, I've seen it in my lab, and I know that it works. I've seen the immune response increase, I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection. And that, to me, as a scientist, rings so true.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Everything big city Dem mayors like Rahm Emanuel do is for the kids, they tell us with ersatz earnestness. Rahm, Tiny Dancer I call him, is quick to take up cause celebs like the Parkland High School Gun Control Brigade in the name of school safety. What Rahm and his leftist colleagues won't do is change school systems run by the adults for the adults, even when some of those adults are child predators. In a blockbuster expose, the Chicago Tribune documented a long-running sex abuse scandal inside the Chicago public schools that should end Tiny Dancer's career, should be international news on par with the coverage given the Catholic Church's scandal, and that should serve as a warning to public school parents across the country. According to the Tribune, since Tiny Dancer was elected in 2011, 430 reports of sexual abuse have been investigated, with credible evidence of misconduct found in 230 of those incidents. Worse yet, the story identified repeated failures to screen out Chicago public schools employees with prior arrests related to alleged sexual offenses involving children. A lot of attention is devoted to holding Pauls and their appointees accountable for threats to kids in school that come from the outside. What about the threats they welcome inside and cover for?
Your daughter's wedding is one of the proudest moments of your life, a moment you and your family will treasure for the rest of your lives. As the months of planning start to unfold and you get closer to the special day, things can get a bit hectic. So many important details. To capture these once-in-a-lifetime memories and not have to worry about anything but the celebration, trust Artland Photography for every precious moment. At Artland Photography, it's all about you. No matter what your style, their photographers have the skill and experience to capture the moments quickly and stay out of the way. They'll make it easy to enjoy all of the smiles, laughter, and tears to enjoy for generations. Visit them at artland.com, where you can see their amazing work and outstanding reviews for yourself. Plus, learn about a special limited-time offer. You'll know why Artland Photography has been Wedding Wire's couple's choice for the last 5 years. They also shoot everything from major corporate events to business and family portraits. Visit artland.com. It's all about you.
Hey, Chicagoland, Dan Proft here. I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at thehomeloanexpert.com. He's one of us, and Ryan just gets it. People are looking to buy a home right now. What do they do?
Oh, it's a great question, and it's a tight real estate market right now. I think most people know that, especially if you're actively looking to buy a house. Maybe you're on Zillow, Realtor.com, you got the apps on your phone, you're stalking them at work, and you're waiting for that right house to hit the market. Well, when it does, you better be pre-approved, and you better be pre-approved by a strong mortgage lender like the Home Loan Expert team. If you think you're the only one watching those same neighborhoods and watching those same streets, you're dead wrong. There's a lot of people out there waiting and watching. And when that house hits the market, boom, goes under contract fast. Get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com, and you'll give yourself a big advantage when you do find that house. Go in there, get in there with your agent. You like it, write an offer, throw the pre-approval on the table. You should get an accepted contract. I'm Ryan Kelly, the Home Loan Expert. No one makes buying a home easier. Get pre-approved at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC.
Nowadays, there's an app for everything, and here's one that's a must-have if you golf. It's the Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app, and it'll enhance your golf experience. You can book tee times at Bolingbrook Golf Club. There's an interactive scorecard, golf games, a GPS, latest news from the club, even a food and beverage menu, Facebook sharing, and more. Just about everything you need for your golf game besides the clubs is in the palm of your hand with the new Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app. Go to bolingbrookgolfclub.com/contact/download our app. bolingbrookgolfclub.com/contact/download our app. And download today.
Have a young golf enthusiast? Keep them busy this summer with the 2018 Robito Golf Academy Junior Golf Program at Bolingbrook Golf Club. It's a great chance for youngsters to learn golf fundamentals and get warmed up for the golf season by the professional teaching staff at Bolingbrook Golf Club. There are special programs divided into age groups, and sessions are still available but going fast. Get more info at bolingbrookgolfclub.com and click on driving range, then junior golf.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Elon Musk's billion-dollar monorail at 7:07.
Oh, where's the luggage going to go? Minor details, but first let's get into the newsroom. Here is the one, the only Mike Scott.
CPD investigating a possible connection between the deaths of a woman and a teen A worker dies after an unusual accident at a Chicago railroad yard. Florida woman dies after falling from a swing at the Merchandise Mart. A veteran Chicago journalist critically hurt in a bike accident. Jury selection begins today in the Quintonio LeGrier wrongful death lawsuit. Brewers blank the Cubs in a rubber match, while the White Sox Covey slows down the Indians. Sun and clouds today with a high near 81. Will be partly cloudy with a low of 64 overnight. More Dan and Amy after Fox, WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
He's ready to play ball. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
I can field balls, and I can still make the throw to first.
Right. Steve Scalise ready to play in tonight's congressional baseball game 1 year to the day after the Republican was shot on a practice field in Virginia.
Started crawling, and then my arms gave out and couldn't do anything at that point, so just started to pray. And said a lot of prayers, and through the grace of God and the marvels of medicine, I'm here.
Scalise has endured long hospital stays and multiple surgeries, recovering from the attack by a gunman who was shot and killed by Capitol Police. Secretary of State Pompeo's in China for more post-summit talks after his visit to South Korea.
The world should rest assured that the United States, the Republic of Korea, and Japan remain committed to achieving the complete, verifiable, and irreversible denuclearization of North Korea.
And Pompeo says sanctions will remain in place for now. Also, the Pentagon's expected today to announce it's canceling the next round of military exercises with South Korea in August. The president announced he'd halt them after his summit with Kim Jong-un. Democrats are critical.
After all the pomp and circumstance have faded, it seems clear that Chairman Kim walked away the victor, unfortunately.
A terror attack, potentially. Thwarted in Germany. Fox's Simon Owen has this live.
Dave, German prosecutors say investigators have foiled an Islamic extremist plot to carry out a biological weapon attack. They said 29-year-old Tunisian man has been arrested in the German city of Cologne and that the deadly toxin ricin was found in a search of his apartment. Prosecutors alleging he made it using the poisonous shells of castor bean seeds, a key ingredient in ricin. A German newspaper reports the arrest follows a tip from U.S. intelligence. Dave?
Simon, a long-awaited report will come out today from the Justice Department's Inspector General investigating the way Hillary Clinton's use of private email while Secretary of State was investigated. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Sunshine in Chicago is 66 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Jury selection begins today in the Quintonio LeGrier wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Chicago. LeGrier's family filed that suit after he was shot by Chicago police. Officer Robert Rialmo in 2015 on the west side. Neighbor Betty Jones was also killed in the shooting. Chicago leaders agreed last week to tentatively pay Jones' family a $16 million settlement. A Wisconsin woman is facing federal charges connected with a terror plot using Facebook to recruit and support ISIS. Wahiba Dias is in federal custody after being charged with providing material support and resources to a foreign terror organization. Elon Musk's Boring Company is now tasked with bringing planned high-speed transit tunnels to Chicago and bringing that plan to reality. Mayor Emanuel's administration chose the billionaire tech company's entrepreneur's company from 4 competing bids to provide the high-speed transportation between downtown and O'Hare. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson is trying to dispel rumors that there is a serial kidnapper on the loose in the city of Chicago.
There is no credible information that we have a serial kidnapper going around in the black community, pillaging. That's just not true.
At least 6 women and teenage girls have been reported missing on the south and west sides since March. State of Illinois workers are a step closer to a $400 million payday. The Illinois Labor Relations Board on Tuesday denied Governor Rauner's challenge to an order to pay state workers step increases dating back to when Pat Quinn was in office. The governor's office says the raises will cost taxpayers $412 million. Metra says it will no longer sell monthly passes and 10 ride tickets from certain vending machines after seeing a spike in purchases made with stolen credit cards. The company said Wednesday customers can no longer buy the passes from 15 non-downtown stations. The impacted stations do not have ticket agents. but instead dispense tickets through vending machines. Metra says that has contributed to a surge in fraudulent ticket purchases. Chicago sports, Brewers blank the Cubs, White Sox beat the Indians. The news service of Ace. Don't miss the Father's Day sale at Ace. Save $100 or more on select items from the best brands like Traeger, Craftsman, and DeWalt, with great gifts right in your neighborhood. Father's Day shopping has never been easier. Offers valid through June 18th at participating stores only. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
It's become a summer tradition. Rockin' for the Troops returns this summer on July 14th at Northwestern Medicine Field in Geneva, home of the Kane County Cougars. Don't miss this year's lineup featuring Seventh Heaven, Ayla Brown, Rocky Lynn, The Voices, and Ryan Weaver. Proceeds will benefit Operation Support Our Troops America. Get your tickets today at rockinforthetroops.org. That's rockinforthetroops.org.
When working at a growing business, you wear many hats. The new business hat, the buying toner for the copy machine hat, the sifting through tons of resumes hat. You can throw away that last hat thanks to Indeed.com. When posting your job, Indeed lets you add screener questions that give you a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates. So go ahead, dust off that extra long lunch hat. Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
You don't remember days, you remember moments. But when the old tapes and photos that hold your cherished memories degrade, or worse, you lose them, they're gone forever. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger. We started Legacy Box to help you preserve those irreplaceable moments.
Load your Legacy Box with your old tapes, film, pictures, and audio, and send them in. You'll get them back on DVD or a convenient thumb drive.
Visit legacybox.com/USA. And for a limited time, you'll get 40% off your order. legacybox.com/USA.
7:06. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. In Aurora, right outside Fox Valley Mall, there are closures of Commons and McCoy after an earlier crash and ongoing investigation. Eden Spur eastbound delay start past Waukegan Road, and it's 25 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 20. Kennedy inbound delay start at Cumberland. 44 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 18 from Montrose, 13 in the Express. Outbound 15 minutes to Montrose, 32 to the airport. On Eisenhower, 56 minutes, 390 to downtown, 42 from Manheim, outbound 38 minutes to 390. Northbound I-55 delays start at Weber, and it's an hour, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 39 minutes. On Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 30 minutes, side east to the Murray, Bishop Ford, 40. Southbound Tri-State, slow Irving Park to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound, 127th to the Hinsdale Oasis, Reagan Tollway to pass North Avenue. But Adams Tollway tied up from the Elgin Toll to the Fox River after a crash. Reagan Tollway heavy Roosevelt to the Tri-State and the northbound Veterans Memorial from I-55 most of the way to St. Charles. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Excessive heat watch in effect Saturday morning through Monday evening. For today, sun and clouds, high 81, partly cloudy night, low 64. Clouds and sun tomorrow, high 85 and a low 72. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
67 at O'Hare, next news 7:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Who's the bigger whore in Chicago this week? Is it Stormy Daniels or Elon Musk? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 646-36DA, turnkey.pro text line.
I should be a headline writer. Who's the biggest whore in Chicago? Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot. Yeah, because there's a big announcement,
New York Post.
Big reveal today, this afternoon. Mayor Emanuel, little tiny dancer, is teaming up with Elon Musk, who says he's bringing high rail high-speed train service to Chicago. What it is from Block 37 to O'Hare. You can get there in 12 minutes. 12 minutes.
Mhm.
And it's a 16-pod. It kind of looks like it's a subway car. 16 people could fit in there
It looks like
comfortably.
something out of a Tron movie or like,
yeah.
one of those. What was that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie with Sharon Stone? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like one of those sort of futuristic type
Yeah,
things.
but it's, the PayPal founder has a lot of money on his hands, and he just inserts himself into cities and says he's going to pay for it all. $1 billion. That's what they're going to do. They're going to pay for the whole thing.
Totally privately funded.
Totally.
$1 billion to get to the new global terminal. Tiny Dancer has announced as part of an $8.5 billion overhaul of O'Hare, which is not going to be privately funded. And if you think that effectively this gambit would be privately funded, then you haven't been around Chicago for very long now, have you? And if Elon Musk thinks the project's going to cost him $1 billion based on back of the envelope math, then he hasn't done a big construction project in Chicago. Now has he?
The Boring Company, that's what it's called, who Elon Musk
Yeah,
owns.
one of his
They've gotten the
sham companies that's just a pass-through for taxpayer subsidies.
Well, they won out the bid. 4 other companies were vying for this high-speed
sure,
travel.
yeah.
And for some reason, somehow, Elon Musk
Well,
got the contract.
I believe it was. I believe there was 4 bidders. I mean, who doesn't want to get greased by getting a big boondoggle from a kleptocratic government like Chicago? I mean, this is wonderful. This is how Elon Musk has made $20 billion, flim-flamming his way through alternative energy and luxury cars that we subsidize. We subsidize people buying $90,000 cars. I mean,
I
it's
think
remarkable.
that's ended, though, right? But we used to, yeah.
This guy is Harold Hill incarnate, and again, we've got. Because of Amy's connections, we were able to get an advance copy of Elon Musk's presentation today before the assembled Chicago press corps.
Monorail.
I hear those things are awfully loud.
It glides as softly as a cloud. Is there a chance the track could bend? Not on your life, my Hindu friend.
What about us Brendan slobs?
You'll be given cushy jobs.
Were you sent here by the devil?
No, good sir, I'm on the level.
The ring came off my pudding can.
Take my penknife, my good man. I swear it's Springfield's only choice. Throw up your hands and raise your voice. Monorail. What's it called? Monorail. Once again.
But Main Street's still all cracked and broken. Sorry, Mom. The mob has spoken.
Mono. Don't.
Tweet from Chicago Economist on the topic of who is the bigger whore.
Yes.
Whoer, Elon or Stormy? Elon for sure. At least Stormy can deliver the thing she promises.
Yeah, because that's a very good tweet. But that's true. This is still an unproven tunneling technology that they're going to use. They're really going to build a tunnel underneath main thoroughfares. It's going to go from downtown Randolph, then to Elston, Halstead, Milwaukee Avenue. I mean, it's what if the roads collapse? We're just letting him play, like, use Chicago like a toy. Go figure this out. Like we're a guinea pig.
Well, a question I would have
We
is
need some structural engineers 24/7.
how long do you think Elon Musk's monorail tunnel will look like Lower Wacker?
No, I don't.
Like,
People living
a Romville, a tiny Dancerville, Tent City.
You can put up little houses.
Well, yeah, you put up the
tiny houses.
That's a good idea. You put up tiny dancers, tiny little houses to adorn the tracks. It literally that's like a train set.
I'm
I like
claustrophobic,
that.
so I'll be dead before I catch myself in one of those little pods. But still, I just don't like that he hasn't completed a project, so we're his first. I don't like that. I mean, he is working on something from L.A. to San Francisco.
Well,
little pods to
you know what
travel
he-
people that
yeah.
the train leaves, ready, Dan? Every 30 seconds.
Well, that's what he's going to do. He's going to say if there's any skepticism, and of course there won't be from the Chicago Press Corps.
Oh.
They'll be totally pliable and compliant as they normally are. But if there is any skepticism, say, oh, I guess this is more of a Los Angeles idea. And just like in The Simpsons,
Well,
will
we've
bite.
Different terrain here than they do in L.A.
Bob in Buffalo Grove, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Thanks for taking my call. What a boondoggle and a waste of money. They already have an existing right-of-way. Just board a train at Union Station, and the North Central line goes right by O'Hare, and then you tie that into the CTA structure, and the trains would exit at the CTA terminal underneath O'Hare. All they have to do is work out the logistics of tying in the one rail system to the other. And then the other minor issue, but I think Musk could solve it, is designing a special train that could run on the metro line that's diesel powered, and then tie it into the electric CTA.
All right.
It cost a tenth of the money. I mean, it's already there.
Thanks for the call, Bob. I mean, it's sort of.
And Bob's an engineer. He's one of our favorite engineers.
Well, you can tell by that call. Tweet from Kevin Rooney. Wasn't the Boring Machine? That's the name of Musk's company, right?
Right. Boring.
Wasn't the Boring Machine a Stormy Daniels movie? I believe it was.
Oh, we can combine the two here.
This reminds me of the high-speed rail we wanted to do at the state level. As part of the Obama's grand vision for Midwest high-speed rail, because the problem in Chicago is we can't get to Toledo fast enough.
Or
so we
St.
should spend
Louis.
$10 billion. I mean, it's just
Or Detroit.
one frackin' boondoggle after another. Ralph and Rantoul.
Good morning. If we really want tunnels built quietly with nobody noticing and apparently without collapsing anything around it, don't we want to go hire El Chapo's guys?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because apparently they're good at doing all that. And maybe the CIA's got them busy digging under the South China Sea illegal islands to drain that area, and we can take that back.
Thanks for the call, Ralph. I like the idea of the El Chapo construction company getting this job, because I think it'd be more fun to go from downtown to O'Hare at 100, 150. I don't know. Every time I read a story about this, it gets faster. It's like 200, 300, 500 miles an hour. However fast it is, go on one of those little motorized bikes like he used to escape from prison, rather than in one of those trams.
Well, Elon Musk described the ride as so smooth. It's similar to riding Space Mountain. Okay. What happens when it breaks down?
What adult makes a Space Mountain reference? When was the last time you were on Space Mountain? I don't even know how
Back
smooth
in the
that ride
80s.
is.
I don't remember. I remember it's dark. It's dark in there.
Tom in Deer Park.
Oh, hi. Good morning. The notion of these drivers.
Tom, you're
following of some people that are pretty bright, and they're coming. They're going to be here, and they're going to be autonomous and private. And I can't remember who said it. It was one of the authors, but it was of his opinion that we should not be building any more public mass transit because of the expense and the fact that the autonomous car is going to replicate and be superior to it. So, you hear that, and then you hear these two dirty birds, Emmanuel and Musk. They're up to no good, and I just hope the public revolts against this idea.
Thanks for the call, Tom.
Who's taller? Is Elon Musk? Is he a little guy too?
Everybody's taller than Rom, except Peter Dinklage. The other thing that's interesting to know too, Elon Musk just announced this week, I believe it was this week, 9% of
Layoffs?
Tesla workforce being laid off globally.
I got a text message saying IBEW 134 is going to make out like champs.
The electricians. What about Local 150?
What
about all the trades? All the trades. And I'm not opposed to any of that.
Neither. I mean,
I'm not opposed to them making out on a project that's a value add. I am opposed to boondoggles. Why don't we just do like the China model? Why don't we just start building shopping malls that nobody goes to here just to keep people busy? And, basically use as a backdoor conduit to get cash to the connected. James in Westmont.
By the way, Space Mountain, not a smooth ride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it hasn't been. I give it a week before the homeless start moving in there.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to hire them to, clean the windows, right? Oh, no, that's not going to work.
Right, not at 100 million miles an hour. Thanks for the call, James. Yeah, Space Mountain, not a smooth ride. So Elon Musk needs to upgrade his reference. He is Canadian. What does he know? Canadians. We had enough of them this week.
Right.
Between Trudeau, now Musk.
I wonder if Musk has a fake eyebrow, too.
It's a good question.
That could fall off during the press conference.
First question.
Are those real? What do you mean? What? No, your eyebrows, dude.
Is everything we see original parts?
Oh, we can ask Stormy Daniels the same question.
I think we know the answer. Will
those
and
are
Skokie.
definitely real.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, the thing is, if they really want to get this done and solve the Middle East crisis, they should hire the Palestinians to dig the tunnel. They're pretty good at that stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Plus, you got to remember that the deep tunnel project, it's been going on since I was in high school, still not done, and I'm 63 years old. So, it's a nice little hole in the ground into which you pour money that then goes into politicians' purses, It's just the way Chicago is.
Thanks for the call, Will. I mean, here's the thing. You know that bike bypass by my place?
Yeah, the 161, the 616. Oh no, that one.
No.
That's why isn't that open yet?
Because it's not completed. It took less time. This is literally. It took less time to build the Golden Gate Bridge than it has taken to build this bike pass that runs adjacent to Lakeshore Drive down by Navy Pier.
It is needed, but I just thought they needed that one segment and then carry on the path. I've been riding that path for years with my kids. So.
There's another way to do this to not make it needed.
What?
Imprison people who ride bicycles.
Will you stop it?
Yeah, no, that's what I...
No, are you one of those people, road rage people, you don't like the weekend warriors out on their bikes?
No. That I'll think they're in the Tour de France.
With their superhero spandex on?
Yeah.
Oh, that is annoying.
Dudes in bodysuits on a little bicycle. With some aerodynamic helmet.
It is a bonding thing. It's like you guys playing golf. I don't know. It's weird.
No, it's not. Yeah. No, it's right. That's what guys do, is do something like play golf. Bicycle riders. Goodness sakes.
Too soon.
Chris on the Eisenhower.
Bicycle riders and Canadians, this is getting really sad.
Yes.
Hey, Rahm is doing this because Richie Daley and Frank Cruzy got away with wasting $250 million on a bat cave, which was supposed to be a CTA stop underneath Block 37. And do you know, as far as I can tell, only 2 reporters in Chicago have ever reported that. And
Greg Hines is one of them.
Greg Hines and Mike Parker. Mike Parker of CBS actually, in the building above the bat cave, conned one of the guards to let him in with a cameraman, and they got the only known pictures of the bat cave. This was a subway station to nowhere, and certain individuals in the metropolitan region were calling every reporter in Washington and Chicago, trying to get it to be a Democratic equivalent to Don Young's bridge up in Alaska. No one would, and $250 million, not one of us have ever been moved in terms of public transportation by that bat cave down there. Wasted money. All of Daley's friends made a fortune.
Yeah, but you know you know how you deal with a boondoggle like that, though, like you're describing the station under Block 37. You respond to that boondoggle with another bigger boondoggle. That's the way you fix it.
We're seeing it. And this guy who cannot make cars at the rate necessary to keep his company afloat. And so he's sacrificing people because he can't figure out how to make his cars. This is the person to whom Tiny Dancer turns for, space-age transit advice. Thank you very much for your wonderful program.
Thanks, Chris.
I come before you good people tonight with an idea. Probably the greatest... Oh, it's not for you. It's more of a Shelbyville idea.
Now, wait just a minute. We're twice as smart as the people of Shelbyville. Just tell us your idea and we'll vote for it.
All right.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
A Democratic candidate has a very bizarre campaign ad. We'll play it for you next. But first, here's your forecast. We are going to have a hot weekend for a storm. Get it? Stormy Daniels is here this evening. Today, though, we're going to have mostly sunny skies, a few high clouds, a high of 81 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 64. And for Friday, warm, clouds, and sunshine, a high of 85 degrees. Let's get into the alarm detection systems. Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dale. Speaking of public or somewhat public transit, Metro has delays again this morning. The biggest ones right now are on the electric line. There was earlier a problem with a tree on the tracks. On the Edens Expressway inbound, we see delays first on the spur past Waukegan Road. Then it's 25 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 24. Kennedy, 45 minutes O'Hare to downtown, outbound 32. The Eisenhower, 56 minutes, 390 to the Circle, 42 from Manheim, outbound 38 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 39 minutes. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. Tri-State Tollway has southbound delays, Eau Plaine to 176, and from the Adams Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound, really messy from 127th to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to past North Avenue. Northbound Veterans Memorial slow, I-55 to St. Charles. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
In my practice, I was getting to the point where I couldn't have the strength to see that many patients anymore. I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis. It really affected my breathing and the strength that I had. And I was introduced to the fruits and veggies. Just slowly, my strength started to come back. And it was because of the good nutrition. I can't say enough good for Balance of Nature and what it's done for me. I recommend it to everybody.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Men, are you tired of those daily blue enhancement pills that take days, weeks, or months to work, if they ever work at all? Listen up. Now you can take Red, the new natural male empowerment pill that works on demand. Even your partner will notice the difference the very first time you use it. To prove Red won't disappoint like the others, you're invited to participate in our nationwide I Take Red Partner Reaction Guarantee Trial. We're seeking participants for this nationwide trial, not only to prove it works the very first time you try it. We guarantee your partner will also notice the difference. Forget those slow-acting blue pills and join those who proudly take Red. Over 50,000 pills have already been claimed and supplies are limited. So to ensure your participation in this free nationwide trial, you must call now.
Superior virility on demand. You only need to take Red once to see what all the fuss is about. Call immediately to participate in our free nationwide trial. Call 800-658-0723. 800-658-0723. Be one of thousands to proudly say, I take Red. 800-658-0723.
The Northwest Side GOP Club presents the Ill-Advised Conservative Collective and Banquet. Join them for their annual fundraiser and more, June 21st at Lone Tree Manor in Niles. This is a great opportunity for Chicago area Republicans to get together for an enjoyable evening of information, fellowship, and the promotion of conservative Republican values. The evening begins with a first responder and veteran salute by patriotic rock group Madison Rising and continues with networking, exhibitors, raffles, and a delicious banquet dinner with keynote speaker Dan Propp. From AM 560's The Morning Answer, recently appointed co-chairman of the Illinois Republican Party, Mark Shaw, will also speak on the role of conservatives within the Illinois Republican Party. Like any good conservative collective, the Ill-Advised event will offer attendees the opportunity to interact with local and national organizations, Republican candidates, and elected officials. Don't miss the Northwest Side GOP Club's Ill-Advised Conservative Collective and Banquet, with first responder and veteran salute by patriotic rockers Madison Rising, exhibitors, Republican candidates, and elected officials. June 21st at Lone Tree Manor in Niles. Join them as a sponsor, exhibitor, presenter, or attendee. For tickets and complete information, visit il-advised.com. That's il-advised.com.
Your local 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning knows how miserable it feels when your AC goes out. You want it fixed fast, fixed right, and get a fast quote. Unlike some companies, we don't give you a quote until we actually see what the problem is. Then we'll give you our straightforward price and always stand by our work. Right now, get savings on any AC repair. Call 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. Call for details. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So where Pajamas Boy was the poster boy for the Obama administration, we've got a nominee for poster boy for the lobotomized left. He's a congressional candidate in Colorado named Levi Tillman. And here's how he approached arguing for gun control, arguing against
teachers being armed.
Right, guns in schools and so forth, teachers being armed. This is his suggestion.
In just a few years, he'll be in school, and Donald Trump wants to give his teacher a gun?
She's holding a little boy.
More students have been killed in school shootings in 2018 than U.S. troops in combat operations. We need common sense gun control, but that's not enough. There are 310 million guns in the U.S. and millions of assault-style weapons.
I'm Levi Tilleman. Washington needs more doers and innovators. That's why I'm running for U.S. Congress. I'm calling on Congress to stop talking past each other and try something new. Empower schools and teachers with non-lethal self-defense tools like this can of pepper spray. Pepper spray doesn't cost much, and it can be safely stored in a break glass in case of emergency cabinet. But it's powerful and won't accidentally kill a kid.
And to show how powerful the pepper spray is,
This is a real man.
He pulled a man cow. He waterboarded himself, so to speak.
He pepper sprayed himself.
Trust me, this will stop anyone in their tracks.
My face is burning! It's incredibly painful, and now I just can't see anything.
He sprays himself again.
Wow.
He keeps trying to wash it off. Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
and then he did.
So
yeah.
pepper spray is annoying. Yeah.
No,
it's
it hurts.
disabling.
I've been tear gassed. Honestly,
I'm
is.
sure you deserved it. That's
no,
not the point.
I did not deserve
the
it.
point is,
Michigan National Guard pepper sprayed me.
his pepper spray in every pot. You want a canister of pepper spray against a gun?
It's you know what? It was provocative, and it made me watch the ad. That's for sure. But then he had
Sure.
his like flash dance moment, and he's got on a white T-shirt where I forget where you need a man's ear. And he flipped his head back in the slow motion to the water and the soap, and then he's like, "I still can't see. I can't see."
Yeah, idiocy can be provocative. I agree with you.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk to our friend Steve Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist, chief economist for CNN at 7:37.
And see how his best friend Larry Kudlow's doing. But first, let's get into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
The Justice Department report on the FBI's handling of the Hillary Clinton email investigation comes out today. Clouds and sun, it's 68 degrees. There's speculation that Clinton email report will be highly critical of former FBI Director James Comey. The president fired James Comey last year. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says the U.S. trade deficit with China is still way too high.
I stress how important it is for President Trump to rectify that situation so that trade becomes more balanced, more reciprocal, and more fair, with the opportunity to have American workers be treated fairly.
Speaking after a meeting with his counterpart in Beijing today, Pompeo says he wants the U.S. to have a constructive relationship with China. National Weather Service investigators are headed to northeast Pennsylvania, trying to determine if a storm that did a lot of damage in a short time was a tornado in Wilkes-Barre Township.
We are extremely fortunate, and thank God this occurred at 9:30 and not at 6:30. If this occurred at 6:30 during the rush business hours, we would have had a much worse situation.
That's a town councilman, John Jablowski. Today marks 1 year since a gunman opened fire at Republican members of Congress practicing for an annual charity baseball game. 4 were shot at the baseball field in Alexandria, Virginia, including House Majority Whip Steve Scalise.
Had a lot of prayers, a lot of support, a lot of surgeries, but just to know where I was a year ago and where I am now, it shows you just get back in the game and keep battling.
Gunman James Hodgkinson was shot and killed by Capitol Police during a 10-minute gunfight. Jury selection begins today in the Quintonio LeGrier wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Chicago. Elon Musk's Boring Company is tasked with bringing planned high-speed transit tunnels to Chicago. The mayor's office has chose the billionaire tech entrepreneur's company from 4 competing bids to try and provide high-speed transportation between downtown and O'Hare. Chicago sports. Brewers blanked the Cubs for the second straight game, this time 1-0 at Miller Park. White Sox beat the Indians 3-2. The news service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
I am a Trump supporter.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Now, I am a Trump supporter who will freely criticize the president when I think he's done wrong. And done wrong can be sending out a stupid tweet, raising taxes, or supporting amnesty. It can be anything. It's the issues to me. And when President Trump does something that does not advance those issues, I'll call him out on it.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So, Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
7:35. Let's get an update on the roads this morning. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. The Eden Spur is heavy eastbound past Waukegan Road to the Edens, and it's 25 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose out on 24. Kennedy, 45 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 22 from Montrose, 18 of the Express, outbound 35 to the airport. Eisenhower, 56 minutes, 390 to downtown. It's 42 from Manheim, outbound 38 minutes, 390. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355. Lakeshore Drive, outbound 39 minutes. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95 to downtown. Ford, 43 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Southbound Tri-State Heavy Washington to 176, and from the Adams Tollway to Bensenville Bridge. Northbound 127th to Hinsdale Oasis, Reagan Tollway to Pass North Avenue. Traffic service of Ace. Don't miss the Father's Day sale at Ace. Save $100 or more on select items with best brands, Traeger, Craftsman, and DeWalt. Great gifts right in your neighborhood. Father's Day shopping has never been easier. Offers valid through June 18th at participating stores only. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Sun and clouds today, high near 81. Currently 68 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy comes your way now. And make sure to join me, Larry Elder, tonight at 7, only on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We're pleased to be joined by our friend Steve Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist, senior economist, or chief economist for CNN. Hey, Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning, guys. I'm sorry I missed you yesterday. I was hungover from the Capitals parade in Washington, D.C.
Oh, yes, your hockey club.
Did you go? Well, how many times did the Blackhawks won? What, 3 times in 10 years or something? So
yeah,
it's about time you share the wealth a little bit.
Did you really go to the parade, Stephen?
Yeah, it was fun. We had a good time, and it was a beautiful day. And, we don't have all these championships like the Cubs and the Blackhawks and the White Sox and so on.
Oh, yeah,
so.
all these championships like the Cubs.
I mean, winning gets tiresome.
Yeah, the Cubs fans are tired of winning. Actually, they're indifferent to winning. Steve, before we get into all things economic, status on your friend Larry Kudlow after his mild heart attack.
Well, I've got really good news. He's out of the hospital, and I expect within a week, maybe 2, but I'm going to guess within a week he's back on the job. So, it was a scare. I mean, I almost had a cardiac arrest when I got the call Tuesday night that.
Well, where was he and what happened?
I don't know all the details of that. I think he was just feeling severe chest pains, and they rushed him over to Walter Reed Hospital. And the good news, it was a kind of minor heart attack. Now, look, any heart attack is serious, but the other problem that Larry's going to have, and I told him this from the start when he took the job, is look, Donald Trump is a freak of nature, right? That's a guy who works 20 hours a day. I've never seen anyone with the stamina and energy of Donald Trump. And I told him, you're not going to be able to keep up with Donald Trump because nobody can. I remember after, working, when we worked with him on the campaign, we'd spend 1 or 2 days with him on the campaign trail, and I would be completely exhausted after 48 hours of that. And Trump was doing it day after day after day. So, he's going to have to pace himself, Larry, when he gets back on the job. And, the other thing he's going to have to do, guys, is stop smoking. Larry, if you're listening to the show, stop smoking.
Sure. Well, do you think that Justin Trudeau's eyebrow was the proximate cause of the heart attack?
Well, it was Larry who. Here's the interesting thing that didn't really get picked up by many people in the media, which is that at the very end of that G7 meeting, Trump put forward a Larry Kudlow idea, which was, and it threw everybody for a loop. It was basically, why don't we go to zero tariffs? Why don't we all just cut our tariffs to zero? Well, these sanctimonious Europeans almost had a heart attack themselves when Trump said that. Because Trump does have a point. Look, I'm a free trader. You guys know that. And obviously, trade across international borders is positive for both countries. But it is true, and nobody in the media seems to want to report this, that the United States does have lower tariffs than the Europeans, and then certainly than the Japanese and the Canadians. And Trump is basically saying, look, how can you lecture us about our tariffs when your tariffs are higher than ours? And I think he's got a point there. And if Trump can prevail here, I think we're going to see freer trade, not more tariffs.
Well, with respect to that, is Trump posturing when he says no tariffs, no subsidies? Or is he posturing when he advances tariffs and protectionist policies? Or is he posturing in both cases and he's just trying to get to a deal?
Well, that's a good question, Dan. The truth is it's always negotiating with Trump, and it is always about the art of the deal. But honestly, I do think that his goal at the end of the day is to get the tariffs down. So that American companies have more access to U.S. markets. And another one, by the way, that because I just thought that the Europeans and the Canadians were so indignant, at that meeting. But I'll give you another example where something just doesn't work for us anymore that the Canadians are doing. They're imposing price controls on our pharmaceutical products. So our drugs and vaccines and other medical products that go over there, they impose price controls on our companies. Now, why does that hurt Americans? Because it means we get stuck, covering all of the cost of developing these drugs. If Americans are wondering why, drug costs are so high in the United States, it's because a lot of these other countries impose they don't honor our patents, and then they charge much lower prices. And we can't live with that because, why should Americans who do all the cost of developing these drugs, it costs $2 billion to develop a new drug, then the Canadians basically get it for free. And that's true of the Europeans as well. So it's a little example of the kind of thing that goes on. And look, Trump said during the campaign, the rest of the world is laughing behind our back. In a lot of ways, they are. And my favorite line, by the way, of the weekend was when Trump said, we're not going to be the piggy bank of the world anymore. And I think a lot of Americans applauded when he said that.
Well, aren't we haggling though over that? Was it if you talk about the dairy business in Canada?
Yeah.
Isn't it about $600 million?
It's a big deal. Illinois is a dairy state, is it not? I mean, you've got cows there. I know it's a very agricultural state. I grew up there. That's another example, exactly, Amy, of a very high tariff on American products. By the way, the people who suffer the most from that are the Canadians, right? They have to pay more for milk and butter and other eggs and dairy products. So, if you want free trade, let's have free trade. But a lot of these countries, lecture Trump when he says, well, I'm going to impose a tariff on you, but they have, in a lot of cases, and by the way, the worst actor by far on the world stage is China. I mean, China is become so difficult for American companies to penetrate that market as they sell us more and more stuff. And look, I love going into Walmart and getting everything damn near everything I need for 99 cents. Thank you, China. But at some point, they have to open up their markets to us.
Speaking of trying to lower costs, Sally Pipes writing in Investors Business Daily about projected Obamacare premium spikes for 2019 being from 15%, or according to Blue Cross Blue Shield analysis,
you know what,
as
Dan,
much as 80% in some markets. And so we talked to Peter Roskam last hour about what House Republicans have in mind, and he talked about expanding House savings accounts. But are we at this point now where the backdoor takeover of health insurance is complete, and this is what it's going to be for the foreseeable future?
No, I don't think so. I think, look, what was the number you said, 15%?
15 to 80. Yeah.
Yeah, 15 to 80. Because I was going to say 15% increase would be an improvement over Obamacare
Right.
for the last 5 years, which has been about 30% per year. I mean, it depends on what state you live in. A lot of states have seen a more than doubling of their premiums in the 5 or 6 years we've had Obamacare. So, I ain't saving $2,500 on my health insurance. I don't know about you guys. I think Obamacare is falling apart. I think it is in a death spiral where healthier people are dropping out of the market and sick people are signing up, and that is the definition of an insurance system that crashes. And I believe by the year 2020, which is only a couple years away, we are going to have a major, major debate in this country about what to do about health care. Are we going to move towards a free market system, where you can choose your own health plan and you can shop around and if you could do that, I think we could really lower premiums. Or are we going to move towards Bernie Sanders healthcare, where it's all just run by the government? And those are really the two choices, because Obamacare, it will not last. Obamacare will have crashed by 2020, in my opinion.
Kim Jong-un.
By the way, we better make the right decision there, right? Because we're talking about almost 1/5 of our economy.
Yeah.
Are we really going to go towards a Venezuela model of healthcare? I mean, really? Are we going to move towards a system like we fund our, where we fund our schools? I said this, I think, maybe 100 times on your show, but the two industries in America where prices are completely out of control and quality is suffering is in education and healthcare, the two industries most dominated by government.
Wanted to ask you about Kim Jong-un and President Trump, the bond that they forged. Do you think that this is a kind of a PR stunt, or do you think this is genuinely the beginning of a new relationship?
You mean in North Korea? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I honestly, I've been thinking a lot about this. I mean, it is true. I was running into one of my liberal friends last night, and, just so you know, I believe in fair play. He was saying, gee, if Barack Obama went over there and negotiated this deal, conservatives would be up in arms. He's giving away the farm and blah, 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 and this is just, a ploy and so on. I just don't really know. I mean, I do think that Trump, and I'm an admirer of Trump, but I think he suffers from the same kind of complex that Obama did, which is they're both very charming people in person, and they believe they can just charm anyone into getting what they want. And that's not the way international diplomacy works. You've got to do the hard work, and just the fact that they got along, right, famously, doesn't necessarily mean that somehow North Korea is going to change its behavior. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I'm being optimistic, and I think it was brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah, the jury's
I'd
out.
like to be optimistic too, but I just worry that that the person who charmed the other one in this negotiation was Kim.
I think that's yet to play out. This is why everybody should holster their Nobel nominations. He is Steve Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist, CNN chief economist. Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Okay, guys. Have a great weekend. Take care.
Take care.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Forecast for our annual AM 560 The Answer golf outing. We're going to have plenty of sunshine.
Can't wait for our 2 p.m. shot start.
Yeah, with two foursomes on the tee. I'm taking a nap mentally thinking about it.
I'm looking forward to my death march this afternoon.
Aren't you going to fake your death on the third hole? Oh wait, we weren't supposed to talk about that? Today, it's going to be sunny, as I mentioned. A high of 81 degrees. Tonight, a low of 64. And then we're going to welcome a string of hot days on Friday. Plenty of sunshine, a high of 85. And over the weekend, Father's Day, we could hit the record high of 96 degrees for good old Dad. Happy Father's Day, Dan. Oh, wait. I'm sorry.
I'm barren.
Let's get into the alarm detection systems. Traffic Center to father of two, right? Father of two kids. Yes, Jim Talamonte. Hi,
Thanks, Amy. Good morning. Good morning, Dan. Seeing mild delays now on 53. Nothing too bad, but a little heavy southbound Rand to Kirchhoff, northbound Algonquin to Kirchhoff. Northbound Veterans Memorial Tollway, though. 355 really slow going. I-55 to St. Charles after the Army Trail toll to 290. And southbound Army Trail toll to Roosevelt. Eden's 22 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 27. Kennedy 45 minutes. O'Hare to downtown outbound 35. The Eisenhower now an hour and 4 minutes. 390 to the Circle. 45 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 54 to 390. Stevenson an hour and 2 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan 30 minutes. 95th to the Loop. Jim Talamonte and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Oh, got a great night's sleep last night, all thanks to my pillow. The pillow conforms to my neck and back. I get the best sleep ever. Now they are offering the My Pillow mattress topper. It has 3 unique layers of comfort. It supports your body weight, helps relieve pressure points, and keeps your body temperature regulated all night, not too hot or too cold. And don't wait to get yours, because in June, this month, you will save 30% off that My Pillow mattress topper. Plus, they'll kick in 2 free standard My Pillows. It's an unbelievable offer. 2 standard My Pillows free and 30% off a mattress topper. Or get 1 low price on 2 My Pillows and receive free shipping. But you have to use the promo code Amy. There's a 10-year warranty on pillows and mattress toppers and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So go online or call now for these great deals and others, including 30% off pet beds, sheets, which I love, and much more. Go to mypillow.com, promo code Amy, or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201.
When you're insured by Mag Mutual, you get more than just medical professional liability protection. You get partnership. They're your partner when it comes to safeguarding patients, physicians, and healthcare teams. Everything they do is focused on protecting and supporting you in the practice of medicine. From helping you save money to mitigating your risk, they are your single source for customized service and support. Their promise to protect includes comprehensive insurance solutions for the practice, business, and regulation of medicine, from expert guidance to an extensive resource library and complimentary access to up-to-date. They're committed to creating a plan specifically for you, ensuring your continued success. You can stay focused on your patients, knowing Mag Mutual is your partner. Visit them on the web at magmutual.com.
For more information about Mag Mutual in Illinois, please contact Jim Nelson at RT Nelson at 630-990-4220 or by email at jnelson@rtnelson.com. Visit their website at rtnelson.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
I look at Balance of Nature and I look what it's doing for me as I've started taking it, and for the patients that I have that are taking it. It's been phenomenal watching the changes that have happened and how much healthier and how much more energy that they have. I haven't heard any negative feedback from any of my patients who have been taking the product. The thing that amazes me with it is that it's so simple.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Right now, are you sitting in your home afraid to go out in public? Afraid to be seen in a restaurant? Afraid to talk or smile knowing those dentures will fall out at any minute? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we can handle all your worries. We have a complete in-house denture lab, and we're here to help you smile and eat with all the confidence again. Every day I see folks like Mary, whose family didn't know where else to turn. Mary's been losing weight and wouldn't eat with her ill-fitting dentures. After talking with Mary, we realized that not only did her denture not fit well, but she hated the way it made her look. We fabricated a new denture that day, and we designed it with Mary's concerns in mind. The smile on her face when we finished conveyed the greatest feeling of all. Mary not only looked beautiful, but she was happy and couldn't wait to get downstairs and hit the restaurant. Mary is happy and her family is happy. That's what we do for our patients. We change their lives. Call us at 847-244-4000 for your free consultation. Don't hide in your house any longer. Enjoy your summer with a new smile and a new outlook on life. Again, call us at 847-244-4000. We are located in Gurnee at Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. Excellence in dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply. Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and this week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited, so text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000
right now, because this free ticket offer expires this Friday.
Just text your zip code to 82,000.
16 million people suffer from depression in this country. 6 million of them have drug-resistant depression, which means they do not find any relief. Hi, my name is Ben Klein, and I know this very well, as my oldest daughter suffers from depression, and she did not find any relief from the drugs. We found TMS therapy, and we got her the treatment, and it completely changed her life. If you're one of those 6 million people who suffer from drug-resistant depression, contact us. It can change your life too.
HBR centers in Chicagoland and Milwaukee offer TMS therapy. In just a few weeks, you can change your life. And it's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Medicare. In a natural way, you can make real progress in the battle with depression, cure or remission. Get a free consultation. 800-604-0208. 800-604-0208. HPR Centers. Go to endmydepression.com. End your depression.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. The storm season is here. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for sudden damage and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and nobody likes innovation in the box area, the box space, more than I do.
Why? Because what are they offering you in the pizza department?
No, pizza box. There's been an innovation that we want to take note of. Pizza box for eating pizza in bed. I mean, this is exciting. I know this is not a visual medium, so you won't get a full appreciation for it. But listen to
There is a commercial.
the audio, right, associated with sort of the rollout of this new pizza box. I mean, how cutting edge it sounds. You get excited.
Pizza will never be the same. It will define a generation.
Yeah, seriously, isn't it?
Come on, wait for it. Tease. The breakthrough we've been waiting for.
You know what's
A
interesting?
pizza box?
This is the exact same theme music to the Destiny Pictures video that Trump showed Kim
Two
Jong-un.
men divided.
So that gives you a sense of it.
Bed. Wait,
And here, the pizza box is this.
it pops up.
Yeah, but you can't see it.
But it pops up, so it's like a tray table
Exactly.
in bed. The cardboard expands out, and it's your
It has
kids serving you breakfast in bed. It's just the most brilliant thing.
right. You're basically putting two legs on a box. Right.
It's like putting something else in a box.
It's the greatest innovation with box.
I love box.
Boxes since Andy Samberg and Justin Timberlake offered their innovation.
A gift real special, so take off the towel. Take a look inside. It's my in a box. It's in a box. Not gonna get you a diamond ring. That sort of gift don't mean anything. Not gonna get you a fancy car. Girl, you gotta know you're my shining star. Not gonna get you a house in the hills. A girl like you needs something real. Wanna get you something from the heart. Something special, girl. It's my in a box.
That's, I mean, the one thing I would suggest with the pizza box folks is they get a theme song.
Oh,
so
they
go along with the
should.
theme music. Maybe they could get Justin Timberlake to compose something.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
I got some good news of the 50 cities that people are fleeing around the country. Not all of them are in Illinois at 8:08.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Elon Musk's Boring Company chosen to build Chicago transit tunnels. A Florida woman dies after falling from a swing at the Merchandise Mart. Brewers blank the Cubs. White Sox Covey slows down the Indians. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
No relief in sight for North Korea. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The Secretary of State reiterating the U.S. will keep up the pressure as he holds more post-summit talks. Fox's Simon Owen monitoring live from London.
Dave, North Korean state media has suggested President Trump might consider lifting sanctions gradually as the country goes through the process of dismantling its nuclear weapons program. But speaking in Beijing, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo saying that's not an option.
We have made very clear that the sanctions and the economic relief that North Korea will receive will only happen after the full denuclearization, the complete denuclearization of North Korea.
Pompeo also saying that North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, understands that getting rid of his nuclear arsenal needs to be done quickly. Dave?
Simon, right after the summit, President Trump announced he'd stop war games with South Korea. And today, the Pentagon's expected to confirm the next round of military exercises in August are canceled. The president told Fox,
"We have 32,000 soldiers in South Korea. I'd like to get them home. I would like to, but it is not on the table right now."
A report out today from the Justice Department Inspector General may be critical of the Hillary Clinton probe.
Members of Congress I've spoken to who have been briefed on this have gotten some details suggest that it's going to blister top former FBI officials like James Comey, Andrew McCabe for their mishandling of the Hillary Clinton email investigation.
Fox's Ed Henry. Republicans think she got off light. Democrats believe the case being reopened might have cost Clinton the election. It's been 1 year since a Republican baseball practice was shot up in Virginia.
It was a surreal moment. The first shot, I didn't think, thinking a gunshot. But by the second one, and Trent Kelly's over at third, that was the first person he tried to shoot at. Trent's running, yelling, shooter, and so at that point, we're all kind of moving around, and then I get hit.
Congressman Steve Scalise, 9 surgeries and a lot of rehab later. He plans to play tonight in the congressional baseball game. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Clouds and sunshine at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Jury selection will begin later today in the Quintonio LeGrier wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Chicago. LeGrier's family filed the suit after he was shot by Chicago police officer Robert Rialmo in 2015. A Wisconsin woman faces charges connected with a terrorism plot that uses Facebook to recruit and support ISIS. Wahibi Dias is in federal custody. The 45-year-old mother of 2 appeared before a federal magistrate yesterday, set to return to court tomorrow to determine bail for providing material support or resources to a foreign terror organization. Elon Musk's Boring Company now tasked with bringing planned high-speed transit tunnels to Chicago. Mayor Emanuel's administration chose the tech entrepreneur's company from 4 competing bids. Mayor's office will have more on that announcement later. A Florida woman is dead after she fell from a swing at a showroom inside the Merchandise Mart in Chicago's River North neighborhood. Jacqueline Albertine suffered head injuries in the fall. She worked for a Miami company, Corporate Design Choice. The owner of a towing company is accused of shooting one of his own employees outside of a Park Ridge strip mall. David Gilwea fired that gun at the victim during a dispute yesterday morning. Gilwea drove away but later returned as police arrived on the scene. He was immediately arrested, then charged with attempted first-degree murder. Brewers blanked the Cubs for the second straight game, 1-0 in Miller Park. White Sox beat the Indians 3-2. 8:03 is our time, and it's time for the AM 560 Business Beat. From the Fox Business Network, here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Royal Caribbean is buying a majority stake in luxury cruise operator Silver Sea Cruises. It's paying $1 billion. Royal Caribbean receives a high-end cruise business, and Silver Sea gains the resources of a large public company. Carnival and Norwegian already have luxury brands Seabourn and Regent Seven Seas. Kroger is closing 14 stores in the Raleigh-Durham area of North Carolina. As many as 1,500 employees are being laid off. Kroger says it plans to sell all 14 locations, but it already has a deal to sell 8 to a regional grocery store chain also owned by Kroger. Arts and crafts chain Michaels is reporting a mixed quarter. Its earnings were higher, but sales at existing stores increased less than 0.5%, weaker than expected. The Dow was down 119 yesterday. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder just wants America to know the facts.
Contrary to the Black Lives Matter narrative, the police have much more to fear from black males than black males have to fear from the police. In 2015, a police officer was 18.5 times more likely to be killed by a black male than an unarmed black male was to be killed by a police officer.
The Larry Elder Show. Weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
When posting on most job sites, you get candidates.
I'm the sales director.
I'm the sales
director you're looking for.
But when you post on Indeed.com, you get the candidates just right for you.
I'm a sales director with an MBA, over 10 years experience, who's also fluent in Japanese.
With Indeed, you can add screener questions for a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates.
Arigato.
Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
You don't remember days, you remember moments. But when the old tapes and photos that hold your cherished memories degrade, or worse, you lose them, they're gone forever. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger. We started Legacy Box to help you preserve those irreplaceable moments.
Load your Legacy Box with your old tapes, film, pictures, and audio, and send them in. You'll get them back on DVD or a convenient thumb drive.
Visit legacybox.com/USA. And for a limited time, you'll get 40% off your order. legacybox.com/USA.
It is 8:06, and let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Eastbound Eden Spur traffic is heavy from past Waukegan Road to the Edens. Then it's 22 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose and outbound 27. Kennedy inbound delays start at Nagle, 49 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 38 from Montrose, 32 in the Express. Outbound 41 minutes to the airport. Eisenhower an hour and 4 minutes, 390 to downtown, 45 minutes from Mannheim. Outbound 54 minutes to 390. Stevenson an hour and 12 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 40 minutes. Line 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Tri-Statesville, Washington to 176 and 2 to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound 115th to the Hinsdale Oasis. Roosevelt past North Avenue. Also from the O'Hare Oasis to the Adams Tollway and Bussey to Gulf. But Adams Tollway still 59 at Bartlett. Lead to the Tri-State Traffic Service at Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. That's 5% on all purchases in store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, sunny clouds, high 81, partly cloudy night, low 64. Clouds and sun tomorrow, high 85, then at night, partly cloudy, low 72. Clouds and sun for Saturday, hot day with a high 93. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
68 at O'Hare, 70 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 8:30, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Are you going to stay in Chicago long enough to see Elon Musk's underground monorail come online?
Yeah, they said that might be done by 2022.
MSN, their money section, has cataloged the 50 cities America is abandoning. The 50 cities in America people are fleeing. And I said the good news is not all of them are in Illinois.
Okay.
Number 18.
Oh, can we guess?
Yeah, number 18. Illinois cities that people are fleeing. Number 18 on the list?
Peoria.
Correct.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Number 11?
Quincy.
No.
Springfield?
Rockford. Yeah, Rockford.
Oh, I thought that'd be higher up. Okay.
Number 4?
Chicago.
No. It's I think
Wheaton.
No, obviously. It's like we're going to put a dome over Wheaton.
Oh, Elgin. No, that's growing.
You think of a region.
In Illinois?
Yes. There's a region in Illinois. This is torturous.
Yes.
Metro East. St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Metro East
St.
area.
Louis.
Yeah, Metro East is depopulating, as is Southern Illinois generally. And then number 1 on the list with a bullet.
Chicago
Metro. Chicago, they kind of characterize it regionally. Chicago, Naperville, Elgin corridor.
In just 2 days, 3 more people on my street are moving. One couple is retiring, can't afford the property taxes. This is besides my neighbor Barbara, who just moved to Wisconsin.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636-DA, turnkey.pro text line. What would it take to get you to move to Rockford or Peoria or maybe Metro East so we can repopulate some of the other parts of the state?
Well, there's a town in Vermont that's offering $10,000 for people who work at home just to work from their home, to call that place home.
There's a town in Vermont called the state of Vermont because it's a state government grant, $10,000 to recruit workers to move to Vermont.
Oh, so you could move north, south, east, or west.
Yeah, live next to Comrade Bernie and his wife, and I don't know, see if you can find a job. It took Sanders until he was in his early 40s to find one, so take some time there. But that's that $10,000 grant to move to Vermont and work. Would a $10,000 grant keep you here?
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636, type in DA.
What if I'm willing to go as high as 15?
I'd need more than that.
To stay? You're out of here?
Yeah.
What's
2024.
2025.
When does Eli graduate? Yeah, 2025.
Wait a second. They're graduating from high school in 2022.
Oh, so that's Peyton. So 2020. No, but I'm here till 2024 for some reason.
You're in. So you got 6 years.
Yeah.
All right. Boy, you might just scratching off the days on a calendar in a cell, isn't it? It's interesting too because what you get from the kind of the flax for the status quo, including these putative good government organizations, some of them like the BGA. I mean, honestly, the BGA, and there's so many CEOs that don't get it, that don't get the BGA is just a flack for the usual. They have sacred cows like the 5th floor at City Hall, and they put out this crap, this idiocy. Illinois' population is falling, but the sky isn't. Yeah, we're losing population. Yeah, tax revenue's down, but they find some demographer who says the knee-jerk tax thing doesn't work because you can find high-tax areas that are growing in the U.S. and you can find low-tax areas that are declining. Yeah, I know you can. And they also suggest that the rate that people are moving out is less substantial than it's being reported. So, thus the sky isn't falling. Let me tell you something. This is the same kind of report they could have issued about the East Germans before the wall came down there. It's the desire to move. That's the indictment. The pace at which people are actually leaving is prodigious, is substantial. Like when you're the only state other than West Virginia and you have Chicago and the metropolitan area, the only state other than West Virginia to lose population 4 years in a row and leading the nation in out-migration. And in addition to that, half of the population, according to the Paul Simon Institute down at SIU, half of this state's population would like to leave. And the number one reason they cite is taxes. It's not just high state income taxes. It's the overall tax burden. They cherry pick. Minnesota has a higher state income tax. Not a higher overall state and local tax burden because Illinois is number one with a bullet in the country. And obviously property taxes, it's not just your monthly nut that driven by property taxes. It's how it destroys home value. So it's one thing to say, I pay $10,000 on a $200,000 house in Illinois, and so that factors into almost $1,000 a month in property taxes. Yeah, $800 a month in property taxes. That's only half of it. When you go to sell your home and you take a $50,000 or $75,000 hit because it has no market value because of the property taxes, how do you factor that into the overall state and local tax burden? You morons, you hacks at BGA, lying to you. It's not just the politicians. It's these phony baloney organizations that front for them. Phil in Deerfield, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. Amy, this is not a shot because I get it about your kids. But why stay because of the schools? I mean, your kids can go to schools in another state. I hear that from people all the time. I'm saying to my kids graduate. I don't understand.
I have a parenting agreement where I can't move out of the state of Illinois.
She's got a bracelet on
Okay,
tracks her.
no, that's fine.
I have a
I
have a probation
I
officer.
actually find that's really unfair to you.
Oh, it's unfair to my kids. Yeah.
Right, it is. That's great. I just wanted to ask the question.
No.
It's a lot of people.
And a lot of people
Thanks
have their
for
own
the call,
reasons
Phil.
and their own,
Well, I mean, part of it
family
is too,
reasons,
you
but
don't
also-
want to be disruptive to the kids. They have friends, they have sports, they have activities that they're here, and, it's a finite period of time, so let them, play out the string through grade school or high school, whatever. There's
I can't
a clean
even move
break.
to the suburb zone. That's what really bothers me, because I know that they'd be much better. Well, I shouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying without saying it, because I don't want to.
But I mean, in terms of why people say I'm staying until the kids are out of this level of schooling or this level, I mean, that's understandable because you're thinking about your kids' best interests and their desire to be in a place that they're comfortable and doing well and participating in a lot of activities and having friends and not wanting to start over for a couple of years. You take a hit for a couple of more years before you get out. You do it for your kids. I get that. Now, here's the other thing, too. Cranes. This is the business magazine, the anti-business business magazine in Chicago, They report some good news about Chicago, and this is good news, but it's limited. The number of Chicago households that have more than $100,000 in annual income and headed by a person under the age of 45 grew by 26,000 between the year 2010 and 2016, outpacing cities with kind of younger, higher income families in places like Denver, Houston, San Francisco. So that's good. But here's what's happening, and this is bad because it's not sustainable. This goes back to this whole idea. Oh, look at River North, look at the Gold Coast, look at Lincoln Park, look at Old Town, a couple other neighborhoods near South Loop and all that. You say, look at how beautiful this is, and you have all these upwardly mobile professionals. True. It's all true. But if you think a city of 3 million people can burn down around a couple of 100,000 people, and this is all going to be okay because you have a couple of 100,000 people that are paying the freight, generally speaking, and are making the money, and you have people doing very well that are somewhat insulated from terrible public policy, and people that are the beneficiaries of transfer payments, so they're insulated from terrible public policy, and then everybody in the middle gets squeezed out of here. If you think that is a robust growth model, a model for a stable community, then you're out of your mind. And you're seeing it play out in real time, so you don't even have to believe my argument. All you have to do is just pick your head up and look around. Russ in Barrington, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, Dan and Amy. Good morning to you.
Morning.
I've been listening to the show for a while, and you guys talked me into it. It's kind of sad. My dad raised 6 kids on the south side of Chicago in Evergreen Park in a little 3-aisle grocery store. But I sold my house in Illinois. I'm closing tomorrow, getting an apartment for a year, and moving to Florida.
Is that right?
Really kind of sad. Yep.
And how long were you in Barrington?
5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Took a $75,000 hit on my home, but you know what?
Go.
I'm out of here.
Right. So this is was there anything else that was kind of keeping you here? Family, job, or anything else?
Well, I have family and job I have here, but the family's actually all starting. My brother just bought a house in Florida 5 doors down from us. So
there you go.
We kind of planted a flag, and we're trying to get as many people down there as we can.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Russ. Sorry to lose you, but I understand it. Appreciate it. And
you can still listen from Florida on the AM 560 mobile app.
Very
Download
nice.
it today.
Nice plug.
Thank you.
Well done. Seamless. But here's the $75,000 on his house. How do you factor that into the taxes you pay here? $75,000 hit. Dan and Wilmette.
30 years ago, the top employers in Illinois were all private companies. You know, Caterpillar, Allstate, State Farm, things like that.
Yep.
Now the top 5 employers in the state of Illinois are City of Chicago, County of Cook, MWRD, the
State of Illinois.
State of Illinois, and the federal employees.
Mm-hmm.
God knows where those people are. I don't see any of them. But nonetheless, that's what's killed Illinois. Done.
Thanks for the call, Dan. I mean, it's right.
And I think if you collect an Illinois pension, these fat pensions, you should be living in the state of Illinois. Don't be getting a second house in Ireland, Mike Madigan, or, Dick Mell, who's got a huge, place in like a palace in Florida. You have to stay here.
Well, that's why, like when Harvey...
You think he lives in the ward that he represented?
Yeah, he lives in a little bungalow near Midway.
I mean...
That's why
Dick Mell. I know Mike Madigan lives in that bungalow.
When Harvey laid off half its police force, and firefighters, we looked at where retired Harvey firefighters live. Arizona.
Oh yeah.
Texas, Tennessee, Florida, just like anybody else.
Yeah, they got out of Illinois, but they're still sucking off of our tax dollars.
I mean, I'd say, look, this is the pension.
This
is the pension they earn, and it was promised under the terms that they. So I get it, but when you see somebody from Harvey, retired in his early 50s, buying a $400,000 house in Scottsdale, where you've got 30% unemployment in Harvey, and the median home price in Harvey is basically zero, and they're financing, these guys to go have nice retirements in nicer places. There's something fundamentally unfair, not right about that. And that's a conversation we have to have. Or not. Or you just leave. Jeff and Berwyn, like you, in 2024.
Greetings. A year or so ago, maybe a little longer, the Tribune had a story about, in 2015 alone, 3,000 millionaires moved out of the city of Chicago.
Yeah, right.
And I maintain that millionaires, unless they haven't inherited, are not stupid people. And they see the handwriting on the wall. So they're getting out of Dodge while the getting's good, getting the best value for their home. There's a train wreck coming with property taxes, as you've all spoken about very often. And my question is, why is it not the grassroots movement started to amend the Illinois Constitution about this? You cannot cut back on public employee benefits. Why is there not a movement? Is it going to take a lot of pain and blood in the streets to get it going, or I don't understand that?
Unfortunately, I think that's the case, Jeff. Thanks for the call. Unfortunately, I would have thought the revolt would have come a long time ago. The good news is that 46% of likely general election voters in 2018 think that revolution is required to improve conditions in Illinois and not simple reforms. So near a majority does, a significant plurality, by a 15-point spread, revolution versus simple reforms. That's the good news. The bad news is the leadership of both political parties are not interested in revolution. So until people are willing to change out the leadership of both political parties, then the revolution is going to be people leaving, not people staying and reordering the power structure in the state, I'm sorry to say. Sean in Elmwood Park.
You know, when a guy says his whole family's moving to Florida, you could mention my company, jerky. Secondly, that Crane's article, let's trace the origins back to where those people are getting paid. Guaranteed it goes back to tax money. And that's what you got to learn to respect. Respect the scam. So you're going to spend 2 hours in that dirty car driving down to Bolingbrook. Why don't you look around at the 19 pieces of heavy equipment and the 6 mopes meandering around to the same companies that get the contracts all over the roads? It's great if you're in on this scam. And I don't mean if you're, what's his name, Elon Musk, with that William Shatner toupees walking around under, pretending he's on the cutting edge of space technology, never producing a dollar outside of PayPal. He is the greatest scam artist. He may end up president one day. I love it because the people of Chicago keep pretending it's progress. And you cannot point to a company that has come to Illinois that hasn't either been paid to do so or promised not to be taxed like the rest of us. It is the greatest scam in the country, and they're going to stay in power. And you ain't seen nothing yet until you see J.B. Pritzker take over. Woo, doggy. Then it's really going to get fun.
Thanks, Sean.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper, hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing mortgage? Then you need to do what I did and call the most honest lender in the mortgage business. That's Team Hochberg. Billy's family was cruising along until he lost half his income, which forced him to load $50,000 onto his credit cards to cover expenses. Tired of the stress living paycheck to paycheck, Bill called Team Hochberg to consolidate his debt. Now, Team Hochberg helped Bill consolidate all his credit card debt into a 30-year fixed loan, gave Bill a credit for all his closing costs, and reduced his payment over $1,400 a month. Wow. Bill was stressed out before calling Team Hochberg, but saved over $16,000 a year calling Team Hochberg. Now, if you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck like Bill and would like to see if refinancing can lower your monthly payment, then call Team Hochberg today at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Team Hochberg helped me and thousands of AM 560 listeners, but they can't help you if you don't call. 312-751-1333. For no BS, honest advice, call Team Hochberg at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage and Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, 4358 NMLS 19186.
Safety. It's so important at your industrial facility. You need to keep your personnel safe and meet OSHA requirements. One problem with your ladders, platforms, or safety guards, and you could be facing costly fines. Vans Industrial helps you meet OSHA standards to keep your employees safe.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. As a business owner, I realize the importance of keeping my employees safe, and I'm here to offer my expertise. Vans Industrial is a specialty contractor uniquely equipped to design, fabricate, and install safety equipment, including walkways, handrails, stairways, and machinery guards. Our Vans Industrial team can inspect existing systems, engineer solutions, fabricate quality goods, and install them with trained pros, all making a safer environment for your employees.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees.
or are just drowning in new regulations? You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher & Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, they provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher & Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher & Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at kelleherbuckley.com.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply. Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and this week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited, so text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000 right now because this free ticket offer expires this Friday. Just text your zip code to 82,000.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
The greatest tactic in a negotiation in the history of the world at 8:38.
Wow, I'm speechless. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Catch up on things here at home and around the world. Here is the one, the only, the Mike Scott.
68 degrees. We have partly sunny skies. A report on the FBI's handling of the Hillary Clinton email investigation will be released later today. The report has been compiled by the Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz. Japan considering a summit meeting now between Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Japan's foreign ministry says any summit would have to produce immediate results on Japanese citizens abducted by North Korea. Firefighters in Colorado facing challenging conditions against the blaze that has burned over 26,000 acres. The 416 fire is raging close to communities in southwest Colorado. The National Weather Service sending investigators to northeast Pennsylvania to determine if a storm that did a lot of damage in a very short time was a tornado that struck Wilkes-Barre.
We are extremely fortunate, and thank God this occurred at 9:30 and not at 6:30. If this occurred at 6:30 during the rush business hours, we would have had a much worse situation.
Township Councilman John Jablowski. Jury selection begins today in the trial of Quintonio LeGrier, the wrongful death lawsuit brought by the LeGrier family against the city of Chicago. LeGrier's family filed suit after he was shot by Chicago police officer Robert Rialmo in 2015. A worker is dead following an accident at a rail yard on Chicago's southwest side. The victim operating a machine yesterday at the CSX intermodal facility on West 59th was run over. And a Southside alderman is now telling some of his city council colleagues that he'll seek re-election even though he's under indictment on corruption charges. The Sun-Times first to report that 20th Ward Councilman Willie Cochran recently changed his mind after earlier announcing he would not run. Brewers blank the Cubs. White Sox beat the Indians. The news a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. 5% on all purchases in store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 8:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher says this is why you elected Donald Trump.
The president is correct in calling off the Eagles' White House visit, telling ungrateful, overpaid athletes that if you can't take a few minutes and not aggressively disrespect the national anthem, and you don't want to go to the White House, then your team, including its owner and coaches, are certainly not welcome either. This is why you elected Donald Trump.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas. Great coffee, period.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers. If you owe the IRS or state back taxes and cannot afford to pay them back, there's good news. Due to the financial hardship many are facing in today's economy, the IRS has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative. Qualifying for this program will resolve your tax problem, end all collections, and possibly reduce your back taxes by up to 90%. If you are facing wage garnishments, liens, bank levies, audits, or payroll taxes, it's not too late. Your circumstances may qualify you for this special program, protecting your savings and your assets. If you owe the IRS or state back taxes and cannot afford to pay them back, there's no need to worry anymore. Call the hotline at Victory Tax Solutions to see if you qualify and potentially save thousands. For this free information, call 800-813-1105. 800-813-1105. That's 800-813-1105.
8:35. Let's get an update on that ride to work. We do that in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Southbound Tri-State Tollway traffic still a bit heavy in the area. First from 120 to 137, then very heavy from the Adams Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound jammed 115th to the Hinsdale Oasis. Roosevelt to the Grand Avenue Curve. Plus there delays from the O'Hare Oasis to the Adams Tollway and Dempster to Gulf. On the eastbound Adams Tollway, stop and go lead to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial southbound Army Trail to Roosevelt. Northbound Fountain to the Reagan Tollway. And from the Army Trail Toll to 290. Eden's 19 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose outbound 27. Kennedy 53 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 43 from Montrose. 36 in the Express. Outbound 37 to the airport. Eisenhower an hour and 8 minutes. 390 to downtown. And 45 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 42 minutes. 390. Stevenson an hour and 6 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 38 minutes. And Ryan 30 minutes. 95th to downtown. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Let's get an update on the morning weather forecast. It's officially from the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. Sun and clouds, high of 81. Partly cloudy, 64 overnight. High of 85 tomorrow. Currently 69. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Still getting reactions and reviews pouring in over that Destiny Pictures production that was presented to Kim Jong-un so that he could see what North Korea could be in partnership with America. A little flavor.
7 billion people inhabit planet Earth. Of those alive today, only a small number will leave a lasting impact. And only the very few will make decisions or take actions that renew their homeland and change the course of history.
Now just wait a second. Now listen to that pizza box video again. And I just want you to compare and contrast. This is the innovative pizza box. This guy's probably going to make $100 million. Domino's going to buy. He just put 2 legs on a pizza box so he can eat it pizza in bed.
Let's hear it.
Listen. It's the same. It's the same.
Same key of G. No, I'm not kidding you. With an F minor there in there. In a world gone mad.
They should have
2 leaders, 1 choice.
They should have shown somebody eating in bed and shown to Kim Jong-un, this could be you. You get I'll give you all of the pizza boxes with the legs that this country has. We'll mass produce them, and then you never have to leave the bed. You can just eat pizza in bed all day. How about that for a future? I mean, it really is. It's the same. I wonder if
I'm mesmerized.
I wonder if the pizza box guys know about this.
I wonder. Well, the
Could
video
have a
goes on. I
trademark
mean, it's kind of
infringement.
Kim Jong-un, this is what your life could be like. You can have all
Pizza in bed.
and all the amenities that Americans have.
A story about a special moment in time when a man is presented with one chance that may never be repeated. What will he choose? To show vision and leadership? Or not?
It's
I want to hear more. Can I hear more?
that copy will he choose vision and leadership to show vision or not?
And then it goes to a black and white picture of like a desolate area.
It's sort of
Wait.
anticlimactic. It
Oh,
doesn't
no, wait,
not really the rhetorical crescendo you want for a movie trailer.
Let me hear. Give me another shot.
And there comes a time when only a few are called upon to make a difference. But the question is, what difference will the few make? The past doesn't have to be the future.
Parallel structure.
Out of the darkness can come the light, and the light of hope can burn bright.
Cliche.
Yeah, but that's
they should have
they're
hired
playing to the audience.
They should have hired Andrew Ross Sorkin to write that. But I want to go back to thinking about pizza in bed. Say that. Let's say that, and then here.
7 billion.
It's the same
It
thing.
is.
Gee, I'm not kidding you.
Somebody's ripping off somebody here. Now, Scott Adams, the Dilbert cartoon creator, who is also the Trump whisperer, he suggested that, and I'm not sure if he was talking about the pizza box video or the propaganda video that Trump showed Kim Jong-un. It was a game changer.
Let me give you my first reaction. I just watched it. It's fresh in my mind. It might be the best thing that anybody ever did in a negotiation. Period. It might be in the history of the world.
The history of the world.
The best thing anybody ever did. It is so good. It hits every note perfectly.
It was if you've seen the video, or now you get a little flavor for it, do you think that showing Kim Jong-un what North Korea could be was the greatest negotiation tactic in the history of the world? Or is Scott Adams listening to Donald Trump's rhetoric a little bit too much and internalizing it? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. I would have taken another tack.
What would you
I
have
would have
done?
taken, I think you have to put the fear into Kim Jong-un. I don't think you can persuade him with, a positive future, what things could be. He just wants to stay in charge and continue to throw people in gulags who don't properly show fealty to him, and so he doesn't care about hotels and real estate developments on the beach. And he just cares about power. So you have to scare him. I would have gone with something more frightening for his personal future.
Which is what?
I would have said, Kim Jong-un, you don't want to end up like your dad. You remember dear old Pops, dear leader Dad, and how he went out?
Why aren't more people encouraging like me? I'm so lonely, so lonely, so lonely inside real Rome. There's no one, just me only, sitting on my little throne. Work very hard and make up great friends, but nobody listens, no one understands. Seems like no one takes me seriously, and so I'm lonely.
No.
A little lonely. Pour it on me.
See, Kim Jong-un, you don't want to end up like that with no friends, right? Don't you think that would have been more powerful?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's a hate crime. What you just did. Matt Stone and
do we
Trey
get in
Parker.
trouble for
Matt
that?
Stone and Trey Parker can get away with it. You cannot.
I know. I'm just trying to have fun. express myself through characterizations of others.
That's right-wing
Don't
hate.
you understand, young man?
Craig in Mount Greenwood.
Yeah, Dan, a lot of folks aren't understanding Trump's negotiation style. I got a pretty good feel for what he's doing and everything. It's actually, it is brilliant because what he's doing, he's putting a couple of objects there in front of Kim Jong-un. Now, the first thing is he shows what one choice is, that he's got all those warships sitting out there. He showed them by what he's done with some other incidents that occurred where he'll take action. He'll send the missiles in, the Tomahawks and all that. Because Jim, he knows he's okay. But then now with the talk, he's just talking real friendly, real nice, all thing. He's showing them what it could be, And the thing is, you remember what happened with Obama? He basically sent over cargo planes of cash, giving away all kinds of things, lifting sanctions on all these different places. Trump hasn't done any of it. It's all just sweet talk. Now, the sweet talk is what Kim Jong-un, he can see that, hey, I can get along with this guy. We can get along with it. The other choice is he's going to have some hurt on him, and he knows it. And Trump is communicating it perfectly because he's showing them both choices.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the call, Craig. Mike in Crown Point.
Good morning, guys. I think there's no need to put fear into Kim Jong-un. He was afraid to leave his own country in fear there'd be a military coup when he left. He's got plenty of stick. What he needed was carrot, and I think one of the appeals of that carrot was he can take a lot of credit for it. As this country grows and develops and prospers, he'll be the guy that can take full credit.
Thanks for the call, Mike. You think Trump should follow up with like a gilded personal toilet for Kim Jong-un? It's okay, like courtesy of Trump. Something garish that would fit into like Trump's condo.
24-karat gold toilet. Yeah.
For the little guy.
And the portable thing with,
Because he's jumpy about where he
pops this spot.
Yeah.
Well, he brought his own people, and this story got buried, probably because it's so disgusting to talk about. But
Could be.
Kim Jong-un brought his own portable toilet because he was afraid and fearful that his excrements would be somehow stolen and tested, and then we'd hear about the health of Kim Jong-un. So he's hiding something.
He was afraid that Elon Musk was going to build a tunnel to the toilet in his hotel room
in Singapore.
And,
I mean, honestly, that proves that he's unstable right there. That he actually thinks the level of paranoia there is unmatched, unparalleled to anything you've ever seen. Who's that? I've never even heard of people doing that. It had to be a portable potty.
Congratulations, Team America. You have stopped nothing.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, a classic baseball rant you need to hear. But first, here's your forecast. Plenty of sunshine today, just a few high clouds. High of 81 degrees. Just a beautiful day for now 3 o'clock shotgun start. We're hoping to squeeze it. I'm kidding. It's still 2:30. We're going to try to make that 1:30. Right, Dan? Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 64. And for Friday, plenty of sunshine, a high of 85. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte. Jim?
I'm sorry about that, Amy. I was wishing you good luck on the course today, and Dan as well. Have fun out there. Right now on the inbound Kennedy, it is slow going from Montrose to the Burn Circle. It's an hour from O'Hare to downtown, 50 minutes from Montrose, 36 in the Express, big savings. Outbound, 16 minutes to Montrose, 37 to the airport. Eden's 19 minutes, Lake Cook Junction, outbound 25. Eisenhower, an hour and 2 minutes, 390 to downtown, 45 minutes from Manheim, outbound 42 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 6 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 39 minutes. Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Tri-State still heavy from the Adams Tollway to the Bensonville Bridge. Northbound 87th, 31st. Roosevelt to the Grand Avenue Curve. And in pockets in the O'Hare Oasis and Gulf Road. It's about Adams Tollway's bottled up lead to the Tri-State. The Veterans Memorial, southbound Army Trail to Roosevelt, northbound Boughton to St. Charles. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, if you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, then dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, and your dental health. Hey, Sean Hannity here. So what are you waiting for? Find out now if implants are for you. Successful implants don't come from an implant factory. Skill, treatment, installation, those are the main differences for successful lifelong implants. That's why you need to see Dr. Neruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Neruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants themselves. You need the experience, the skill, and honesty that over 25 years of dental implants brings, and you're going to be happy with your implant. It's not a mass production procedure because everyone is different. And Dr. Neruzzi wants to talk to you about dental implants today.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics at 630-232-7400. They're online at implantsforme.com.
Hey guys, Ken here from the Business Accelerator podcast, Today's Growth. If you had to choose a vehicle to take you up the rocky side of a mountain, would you choose a Ferrari or a Jeep? The Ferrari's faster, cooler, maybe even sexier, but if you have to get to the top, the Jeep's a better bet. I think we can agree getting to the top is not about the driver, it's the vehicle. Have you noticed people often pick their financial vehicle like they pick their cars? Washington Post shared that only 1 out of 4 people choose a job that uses their college degree. Why? Simple. Something more immediate, maybe cooler, maybe even sexier came along first. Shouldn't the main deciding factors for revenue generation be production or output? Should the cool factor have any weight in choosing someone's income? If getting to the top of the financial mountain is mission critical for you, why not add a few Jeeps to your garage? Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that makes it to the top every time? If so, you have to see the Jeeps lined up at IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. Everything big city Dem mayors like Rahm Emanuel do is for the kids, they tell us with ersatz earnestness. Rahm, tiny dancer I call him, is quick to take up cause celebs like the Parkland High School Gun Control Brigade in the name of school safety. What Rahm and his leftist colleagues won't do is change school systems run by the adults for the adults, even when some of those adults are child predators. In a blockbuster expose, the Chicago Tribune documented a long-running sex abuse scandal inside the Chicago public schools that should end Tiny Dancer's career, should be international news on par with the coverage given the Catholic Church's scandal, and that should serve as a warning to public school parents across the country. According to the Tribune, since Tiny Dancer was elected in 2011, 430 reports of sexual abuse have been investigated, with credible evidence of misconduct found in 230 of those incidents. Worse yet, the story identified repeated failures to screen out Chicago public schools employees with prior arrests related to alleged sexual offenses involving children. A lot of attention is devoted to holding Pauls and their appointees accountable for threats to kids in school that come from the outside. What about the threats they welcome inside and cover for?
Your business's finances are very personal. It's the determining factor on the course you'll take for your family and your employees. But what happens when you're reaching a phase when you need advice? You want to turn to an expert, but who can you trust? Look for someone who is both knowledgeable and involved in the community, like Fred O'Connor of Northwestern Mutual. Fred has worked from Wall Street to Europe in the financial industry, but his calling as an engaged civic leader speaks to the earnest trust Fred has gained over his 30 years serving businesses and the families that run them. Fred serves on the board of the 100 Club of Chicago, the Big Shoulders Fund, and the Irish Fellowship Club. Fred can help you manage risk and plan for your goals, such as rewarding key people and strategies for business exit. Visit FredO'Connor.com to learn more about Fred's services and how he can take your business to the next level. That's FredO'Connor.com. Northwestern Mutual is the marketing name for the Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Fred O'Connor is an insurance agent of NM.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I went to have my blood test done a few weeks ago, and I met the doctor, and he was really encouraged by my progress, and I showed him what I was taking, and he started looking at all the ingredients, and he said, I'm really impressed with the shiitake mushroom. And he said, this stuff, it could clean out your arteries. And I'm like, oh, wow. He said, you may be onto something here. And he said, you just keep that up, and maybe you can start cutting back on your medication. And he says, you're helping your health by doing that. And I'm like, whoa, endorsement by the doctor.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Actor portrayal of a patient testimonial.
A few years ago, I started noticing how quick my legs got tired, sore, and heavy feeling. I'm over 40, so I figured par for the course, right? But then my doctor told me about vein disease. Vein disease is more commonly recognized as those naughty, bulging varicose or spider veins. But you can still have it and not see the obvious signs. In fact, vein disease is typically undiagnosed and can be debilitating if left untreated. So I went to the specialists at Vein Clinics of America for a free evaluation. They've been successfully treating vein disease for over 35 years. One easy test, and they can tell you definitely whether you have it or don't. I did. Treatments were minimally invasive, it was covered by my insurance, and now my ugly varicose and spider veins are gone. Thanks to Vein Clinics of America, my legs feel years younger, and I'm able to wear shorts and skirts again. So call Vein Clinics of America now to see if you qualify for a free consultation. Call 800-223-9119. That's 800-223-9119. 800-223-9119.
That's Dot. She's here to greet me after a long day. She's the only one who wants to be near me when I'm sick. She's my best friend. Thanks to folks like South Suburban Humane Society, Dot went from living on the street to a dog that wears clothes. Yep, I'm that guy. So how did I get so lucky? Before I met Dot, I spent time at South Suburban. Giving to a nonprofit isn't always about giving money or donating food and supplies, although that's appreciated too. South Suburban Pets just want your love. We encourage you to come by the facility, take a dog for a walk, play with Dot's cat friends, or even foster a pet to keep your flexibility. If you're interested in how you can volunteer or donate, visit them at southsuburbanhumane.org. That's right, Dot. South Suburban is a 501c3, which means all donations are tax deductible for individuals and businesses. Text DONATE to 708-866-0065 or visit southsuburbanhumane.org. South Suburban Humane Society, creating a better world for pets and their people.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy were talking about the video that Trump presented to Kim Jong-un, which Scott Adams called the greatest negotiation tactic in the history of the world.
And it was by Destiny Productions.
Yeah, Destiny Pictures.
Pictures, which
Yeah.
sounds like something about Stormy
That's
Daniels.
the new name of the Weinstein Company.
Hey!
Amby Davis's Bowlingwell tweeted, I've already scripted my own positive future trailer for my upcoming performance review. I think everybody's going to be doing it. Jake in Lake Geneva, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I love your show, so thank you for having me on.
Thank you.
I think this whole summit and what's going on now has been scripted. Personally, I believe that this was done several weeks ago and put into motion. There was a little balk there that if I believe basically what they're doing is they're letting Kim Jong-un save face right now, so he looks like a hero to his people because he faced the ultimatum. It was either get on board and go along with this, or China was probably going to colonize North Korea and take him out of power. And I think that the economic machinery between the United States and China, the necessity for each other's dollars, the global politics of it is that North Korea was just going to be an anchor that kept pulling everybody down. So they negotiated this in advance. China got on board that they were either going to eliminate the problem for us and eliminate their own problem, or they were going to let him, save face and get on board with this.
Well, it's an interesting theory. Thanks for the call, Jake. It's possible, and what North Korea does in the next year or so, what China does in the next year or so with respect to some of the other issues we have with China, trade routes that run through the South China Sea, the issue of Taiwan independence, the issue of their cyber attacks and intellectual property theft, along with trade policy. I guess we'll bear out whether or not that theory is correct, but it's an interesting thought. It's a hopeful thought. I hope that's correct. Now, just to close the show, I mean, one of the things that you know about us is that we pride ourselves on making sure that we capture the best rants in the culture, including
because
sports.
you're not the only one who goes on rants.
No, that's hardly. No.
Oh, no.
And I'm not even the best at it, as much as I try. We've got some classics, and we'll get to those. But there was new audio. You don't get this very much. New audio of
an old rant?
Well, yeah, it's from 2016. It's when the former Mets manager, Terry Collins, was thrown out of a Dodgers-Mets game by Tom Halligan. And, you don't get this audio very much. And it's so much fun when a manager or a coach or even a player gets thrown out of a game. You kind of want to hear what's being said. Well, you get a little flavor for it right here.
Come on, talk to me. Talk to me. Tommy, that's talk to me. Then you talk to me about it. Okay. You gotta give us a shot. You know what? You gotta give us a shot. Okay, listen to me and let me hear what I'm saying. Okay? You get your shot. You had your shot right there in the situation. Well, why you know the situation, Terry. Why don't we get a shot, Tommy? Because that makes it worse, Terry. That makes it worse. I know it. But MLB did nothing to that guy. Nothing. Okay, that I can't. Terry, I can't control that. You know as well as I do. You know where I stand on the whole situation. But that's better than that.
And if it would have been a LaRusse, they would have thrown third base at him. Now, that still doesn't compare to the great Lee Elia.
We're mired now in a little difficulty. We've got all these so-called fans that come out here and say they're Cub fans that are supposed to be behind you, rip at everything you do. I'll tell you one thing. I hope we get hotter than just to stuff it up than 3,000 people that show up every day.
So disrespectful.
I love it.
Thanks for making us part of your morning. Back here tomorrow at 5 a.m. Now let's go into the newsroom. Mike Scott.
Thank you to the great Les Grobstein for that. Outside, we have sunny skies, 9 o'clock.